Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2025 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championship. I'm Kevin Serrano, and I'm here joined today by my co-commentator.
I'm UV, and we're looking forward to an amazing session here today with our 100 and 110 kilo lifters here, starting off the day.
Absolutely. Like mentioned, we have our 100 and 110 lifters competing today, all men. We have our team lifters on platform 1, and we have our open lifters over on platform 2. Still waiting on Lane to come out on platform 1, but we got Shane Brady on platform 2, opening us up with 257.5.
Takes a big brace here. Slow descent. Smooth opener there. That's 3 whites for Shane. Looks like Lane is going to time out here, unable to make it out to his opener on platform 1.
And as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, lifters are given a 60-second timer to receive the squat command. In the squat, there are 2 commands. There is the squat command and the rack command. So lifters will need to walk out their squat, take a step back, lock out, and be ready to squat before that 60-second timer is up. So in this case, on platform 1, we're getting the bar ready for our second lifter, which is Nicholas, opening us up with 187.5.
Platform 2, Brandon here, also taking 257.5. Very smooth squat as Nicholas approaches the bar with 187.5 kilos.
Unfortunately, on platform 2, it was a no lift. Both side referees did not believe that our lifter squatted to depth. So Brandon will need to just make that adjustment when he comes back around for his second attempt.
As Nicholas gets ready here to unrack 187.5 kilos. Thanks again to our platform crew for adjusting the combo rack there. Looks like there was an adjustment there as he walks it out. Big brace by Nicholas. Bit of a fight. Let's see what the judges say. It's a good lift for Nicholas there. And for Cameron, also a good lift. As a reminder, you only need 2 out of 3 white lights for the lift to be deemed a successful lift.
Absolutely. In powerlifting, majority rules. So if 2 referees believe that lift was good, that lift is good.
Caleb here getting ready to walk out to 190 on platform 1. And this is a really impressive weight, definitely for openers. I think, as you might see in today's session, probably some big jumps ahead for some of our lifters between attempt selections.
I mean, Caleb on platform 1 is just 17 years of age, already squatting over 400 pounds here on the national platform.
And with ease as well. TJ here with 262.5 kilos on platform 2. Also very smooth. Looks like it's a good lift for TJ there. And it's also a good lift for Caleb there as the decision comes in from our judges. Next up is Tommy on platform 1 with 205 on the bar, upwards of 450 pounds.
And we got Gauso up next on platform 2, 270 kilos, just shy of 600 pounds.
And Tommy here getting ready to take his brace.
And a very deep squat by Tommy. Both lifters get 3 white lights.
Very good squat there. Alvin next up with 210 kilos on the bar as we're pushing into the high 400s here already for our openers, for our Team 2 lifters. Very impressive weights. As on platform 2, Brian gets ready to walk out to 272.5 kilos, our first 600-pound plus squat of the afternoon. Alvin representing Steel Society, one of the big powerlifting gyms here in Georgia. Easy opener for Brian, making light work of 600 pounds there. It's a good lift for him as Alvin braces for 210, also making easy work of that. Very well done there. Quentin up next on platform 1 with 225 kilos on the bar, just shy of 500 pounds at 496. And Revner here as well on platform 2 with 275 kilos on the bar. Smooth opener there for Quentin on platform 1.
And over, unfortunately, on platform 2, it is a no lift 2-1. The referees did not believe that Revner squatted low enough.
And Sean here getting ready to push into the 500s on platform 1 with 227.5 kilos on the bar.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive for lifters in the teen division, right? Sean is 17 years old. He's already squatting over 500 pounds for an opener. That's
Definitely.
just really impressive weight.
Meanwhile, on platform 2, we have Zachary with 277.5 kilos on the bar as well. And you know, like we've mentioned for these lifters in the 100, 110 kilo class, looking for some big jumps here in second and third attempts.
That's a no lift on 2. He got called on depth. We're waiting on the lights on platform 1.
Now, Kevin, what are some other important rules lifters should be aware of for the squat event?
Absolutely. And just to provide a little bit more of an introduction, I just recently became a Category 2 international referee as of session 1, day 1. Been a national referee for a few years now, and some of the things that the referees are looking for is ensuring that the lifter's knees are locked both at the beginning and at the end of the squat, that the hand placement doesn't shift across the bar and the hands stay in contact with the bar at all times. For the lifter to not take a step in between the commands, so they can't lose any sort of balance when they're coming up. And for there to not be any up and down movement of the bar, so if you kind of double dip, or if you're grinding that squat up and that bar comes back down, that'll be a no lift. And finally, and most importantly, is depth, which is the most common call we see in the squat. It is when the referees do not believe that this lifter squatted low enough. And what does this mean, right? So what depth means is the hip crease of the lifter does not go below the top surface of the knee. And that's how it's defined in the rule book, and that's what the referees are looking at. So when a lifter gets a depth call, now you know what that means. So we'll just keep watch and see as these lifters go about their attempts and as they ensure to hit depth.
For sure, as our 2 previous lifters there is on platform 1 and 2, both actually got 3 whites on their lifts, hitting all those rules that Kevin had just mentioned. As we have Ryan here walking out with 237.5 kilos for his opener on platform 1, and Gregory with 290 on platform 2. Light work for Ryan, very smooth opener. And with 290 keys on platform 2, we're pushing into the low 600s, mid 600 pound opener range for squats.
And Gregory over on platform 2, actually got a chance to see him compete at the USAPL Freak Fest over in Wisconsin. So very nice to see him competing here on the national stage.
Very good squat there as we enter our last couple of lifters here for this flight on platform 1, with Ricardo opening with 250 kilos as a teen lifter, 551 pounds as an opening squat. Very impressive. And he also makes very easy work of that. Look deep enough from our angle, and 3 whites it is.
Yeah, again, it really is a confidence booster for these lifters to get not only just a good lift, but secure it with 3 white lights, right? That just goes to show that the referees were not in doubt that any rules were broken. So that's a huge confidence booster as these lifters move on to their seconds and thirds.
And David Sampson here, definitely one to watch on platform 2 with a 305 kilo opener, which blink and you'll miss it. Hits it with ease there and gets 3 whites.
Yeah, absolutely. David Sampson's one of those lifters that you're going to watch out for. He, off of his forecasted total, is nominated with an 815 kilogram projected total. This is just based off of his opener, so he's definitely going to be increasing that as we go along throughout the day.
Ronaldo here in the vivid A7 light blue colorway there. 275 for his opening squat. And Ronaldo also a lifter to watch here, registered under the open division as well. And with how he moved that opening squat, you can see why. And Kevin had made a good point, especially with your opening squat being the very first lift of the competition. That is something to help clear up nerves early on, and a lot of our lifters have already been able to do that. As Brandon retakes 257.
And unfortunately got called on depth again. So Brandon is in a very tough spot here. He's took 257.5 for his opener, got called on depth, retook that same weight, got called for it again, and now he's in a very tough spot, right? Because if you were in the back, right, and you were in the coaching staff, and you're having to come up with a decision on what to do, you're going to want to retake that weight. But when it comes to placings, when it comes to just what you have planned for the day, you're kind of out of luck there, right? Because you're not trying to go up any further. And really, at this point, you're just trying to survive the meet. You're trying to get one on the board and not risk bombing out.
Right. And bombing out there is definitely something lifters do want to avoid from a confidence perspective. And also, you know, if you do bomb out at a powerlifting meet, your total will not register for the meet.
Yeah, and interesting terminology there, right? When we say bomb out, for those of you who are new to powerlifting, what does bombing out mean?
So bombing out refers to the phenomenon where you don't actually register a successful attempt within one of the lifts. So if you miss all your attempts for squat or miss all of them for deadlift or bench, you will be unable to actually register a total for all 3 lifts at the meet itself. Doesn't mean you shouldn't stop competing, but definitely something you want to consider in terms of attempt selection like you illustrated.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a really good point to make, right? If a lifter does happen to bomb out due to any unfortunate reasons, they may continue to lift and continue to bench press and deadlift. However, like mentioned, they will not be able to post a total or get any sort of medal for competing today.
And our openers for Platform 1 were all wrapped up there for Flight C. Definitely saw some very heavy openers as we move on to Lane, taking 165 again. This time for his second attempt. And Cameron taking 275 for his second attempt on Flight C for Platform 2.
Oh, and there over on Platform 1, we saw not so common infraction. Lane unfortunately lost a little bit of balance coming up, and he took a step just before finishing that lift. So he will not be credited with the 165 kilogram attempt. But however, this is just his second, so he will have one more go at it when we make it to the next round in the thirds.
And based on that attempt, I think he definitely has the strength for it. I'm sure he can hit it on his third.
Almost looked like he just came up so fast, right?
He just too easy.
Yeah.
Revner here taking 275 for his second on Platform 2 now. We have seen a couple misses already on second attempts here on Platform 2. Definitely very hard when you reach those heavier top-end ranges. You know, hitting depth, you know, it's hard when you think about controlling the weight, hitting the hole. As a lifter, what would you say is important in terms of balancing that, hitting that sweet spot in terms of depth for the squat?
I think more than anything, right, it's just making sure you have a really tight brace, right? Because when you're squatting, right, you really want to convince the judges that you're hitting depth, right? Like just mentioned, right, these are all national judges and above, so these are very experienced referees, so they will make sure that you are hitting depth. So when you are bearing that squat, that brace is going to be really important, because when you're in that lowest and bottom position, you need all the tightness you can to just kind of rebound out of that hole and lock out the squat. So making sure that you have a very steady unracked brace and are committing to actually getting down there when, in your squat will just do all sorts of good things when it comes to making sure you hit depth.
Definitely. Unfortunately, Nicholas missed his second there on Platform 1. very good save by our spotting and loading crew there. As we have Caleb walking out to 210 on platform 1 and TJ with 277.5.
Yeah, Caleb taking a massive 20-kilo jump here, and then TJ crossing over the 600-pound barrier.
TJ with a very nice brace. A little bit of a fight. Can he push through?
Let's go, TJ. He had a bit of a bobble there. Let's see if there was any up and down movement of the bar. 2-1. That is a good lift.
Well done. And Caleb, very good attempt selection there for his second.
Yeah, well done for Caleb as well.
Very nice.
2-1. Both lifters get a good lift.
What do you think you would expect to see in terms of jumps between attempts here on the squat, especially at these weight classes, you would say?
I mean, this is a very unfamiliar territory for me. I compete in the 75-kilo division, so it is a few weight classes above, if you will, right, from what I'm used to. So a lot of these lifters, it's all relative, right? So a lot of the lighter lifters will end up taking closer to 7.5, 10-kilo jumps. But these lifters, right, they have more mass, right? They can move more weight, and they're significantly stronger relatively than a smaller lifter, if you will. So these jumps are going to be greater. We see Tommy taking a 15-kilo jump, something that's very standard, very expected. Zachary Zills, despite missing the opener, went up and hit it on his second. So again, very just you'll start seeing a lot bigger of a jumps here.
So Tommy securing his 220, I believe, still waiting on the decision.
Yeah, I think we see some white lights from the referees.
I think so. As Alvin is on platform 1 here. Alvin with 222.5.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay on the overlay, but we have Alvin over on. Oh, we have Tommy over. Is it?
I think this is Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin over on platform 1. Gausu on platform 2 gets 3 whites with a 17.5-kilo jump.
And one thing you might notice here is that our lifters are differing between either flat or heeled shoes here for executing the squat. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, ultimately powerlifting comes down to what is most preferable for the lifter. There is a subset of rules that a lifter has to abide to when it comes to just rules of performance, whether it's hitting depth, having the back be placed on the bar, over the shoulders, with your hand placement. But other than that, lifters are just lifting within those confines. Their stance can be, we can see a wide array of stances, narrow stance, very wide stance, flat shoe lifters, or over here we have Brian Quinson who's lifting in heels.
292.5, wow.
Again, very unique squat there by Brian, very wide stance with the heels.
Well,
hits depth, but seems to work well for him.
As we're waiting on Quentin here, crossing the 500-pound mark here for the day with his second attempt. Let's see. So we're waiting on him to come out.
And like mentioned with the techniques, these are just 100 and 110-kilo lifters. These are all lifters weighing in relatively around the same body weight. However, their build, size, everything about them is going to be so different from one another. So we're going to see a wide range of techniques and just positionings, which we'll dive into as we continue seeing this lifting.
As I believe Quentin... Not too sure what's happening on platform 1. They may have timed out here. And on platform 2, Gregory with 305 on his back, 672 pounds, pushes, unable to get it up there. Looked like a miss on strength there. May have been a misgroup, but we'll see what him and his handler decide on loading. As the bar is loaded for Sean on platform 1 with 237.5 kilos. And Sean in one of the newer powerlifting gear lineups here with the SBD Aspire singlet. And Devin getting ready for 307.5 kilos for his second attempt. Big jump there as well. Yeah,
Devin's got the second highest squat in nomination here for the 100-kilo division. So very, very strong contender for that top placement.
And Sean, 3 whites for him. Good lift on his second. As we wait for Ryan, taking a big jump to 250 here for his second attempt on platform 1. And we wait on Devin's squat on platform 2. Very controlled. It's unable to complete the lift there.
And a conversation needs to be had with Devin Tran, right? Whether or not that miss was due to a strength issue, or maybe he just lost some sort of tightness, misgrooved the weight, and is going to be capable of doing that, or just a little bit more. So a tricky situation to navigate if you were Devin's coach.
Ryan here. Fighting for it. Definitely a fight, but looks like a good lift from here, and it is a good lift.
Yeah, and Ryan Troy is currently nominated first in the Team 2 100 kilo division. So he's definitely top contender for that medal.
And David Sampson here with 330 kilos on his back, crossing past the 700-pound range, well beyond that here for his second squat. Wow. David definitely one to keep an eye on as he looks to build his total, but looks like it's 2 reds there.
Yeah, I believe he got blue cards on that. Yeah, he did get 2 red lights, one from the front and one from the side, and they had a blue card attached to it. And what the blue card means in the squat is 2 things. There is either up and down movement of the bar, which likely was not a case in this point, or the lifter had soft knees, which might have been the problem here at either at the beginning or at the end of the lift. Now, ladies and gentlemen, put your eyes over on platform 2. We have Brandon Tomer, who needs this squat to stay in the meet.
Come on, Brandon. As saw on platform 1, John Paul hit a very tough hoop 255, but was a no lift.
Let's hope Brandon can get this squat.
Come on, Brandon.
Look deep. Look deep enough.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he gets another 2-to-1 no lift.
From the side judges there.
So yeah, I believe Brandon is going to the jury. And for those of you who are not aware, at Nationals, there is a jury available. And what a jury is, it is a different subset of referees that are overseeing platforms 1 and 2 in our case, and they are all Category 1 referees, ensuring that all the rules of performance are being followed, whether it be from the spotters and loaders, lifters themselves, and even the referees. They're ensuring that the referees are making appropriate calls. So right now, Brandon is talking to the jury to see if there is a possibility to overturn his lift to a good lift.
Ronaldo here taking 287.5 kilos. Platform 1, Ronaldo here with 287.5 keys for his second. And on platform 2, we have Shane Brady retaking his second attempt here. Ronaldo sinks his squat.
3 white lights.
Shane looking to secure a successful attempt at this weight.
That looked a little deeper from Shane.
For sure. And let's see what the decision is here.
And the referees agree.
Nice. And Alexander here on platform 1 with 300 kilos on the bar for his second attempt. 20-kilo jump. Definitely a huge jump, but if he's confident he can hit this, I'm sure it is there. It's the whole moves like his second attempt is expected to move, but it is a no lift. 2 reds there from the side judges, most likely on depth.
And TJ, who had a grinder of a second attempt, is still coming out, trying to add on just 2.5 kilos to his squat, going from 277.5 to 280.
TJ there, unable.
Just kind of ran out of gas on that one.
Definitely tough there, but only losing out on 2.5 keys between the attempts, as on platform 1, 307.5 kilos on the bar for a Teen 3 lifter.
He's 19 years old, squatting
Ridiculous.
300, almost 700 pounds,
Almost
lady.
700, and he smokes it. I would say he has a bit more in the tank for sure for his third. Good lift there. As the bar is loaded with 287.5 kilos for Cameron on platform 2 for his third attempt, showing appreciation to the spotters and loaders here before his final take for squat. And Lane here needs to secure this 165 to avoid bombing out on platform 1. It looks like that.
Looks like it'll be a good lift for Lane. Yep. 3 whites.
Good catch there on platform 2. Cameron unable to get that third attempt up there. Heading on to Nicholas on platform 1 with 195, reattempting the same weight that he took for his second. And Nicholas maybe timing out here. Running down the clock here to give the other lifters in the fight a bit more time. As on platform 2, 295 kilos on the bar here.
Also on platform 2 is one of our top contenders for the 100 kilo division.
Looking to build his total here.
Yep, there he goes. Good. And with that squat, he's ending up his squat session just with a forecasted total of 797.5, just 2.5 kilos below 800, a very big milestone number for the 100 kilo division, which will surely be surpassed as we move forward on the day.
And that is a huge meet PR for Gaosu as well. Over, looks like 25 keys on the squat there. That's always a good feeling to secure a big meet PR there. As Zachary taking 295 as well on platform 2, and we are waiting on Quentin on platform 1. Reattempting 227.5 kilos. He may also be timing out here. Pushing. He wins the fight there. See if it's a good lift. And it is.
Lift.
Now, as you see on platform 1, a couple of our lifters here not deciding to take their thirds after missing their seconds. Might be a good decision, saving their energy for the rest of the competition.
And here, Revner on platform 2 missed his opener, hit it on the second after retaking the same weight, and decided to go up 27.5 kilos, trying to make up that ground that he lost from missing that opening attempt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost like if he jumped from opening attempt all the way to his planned third, that looked just about a good lift, and he gets 2-1.
Caleb here taking another 20 kilo jump to 230 kilos here for his third attempt. 507 pounds for his third attempt squat. As we're waiting on Gregory to retake 305 kilos as well for his third attempt on platform 2. Big brace by Caleb. Good catch there, and unfortunately he misses his third. And Gregory, strong fight there. Let's see what the judges say.
unfortunately, no lift for Greg. And he'll be ending off with just 290, his opening attempt weight.
And Tommy here also taking 230 on platform 1. Devin reattempting 307.5 kilos as well after missing it for a second on platform 2. Wow, Tommy fights through that sticking point there.
Let's see what the referees say.
That's a good
2-1.
Well done.
Yeah, Tommy's in a really good spot here. Currently forecasted in 4th, but just 2.5 kilos below Nicholas, who is forecasted at 587.5. So just look forward to a really good battle there for the teens.
Devin here sinks it. Unable to complete the attempt there. And, you know, with some of those misses on the second and third attempts, definitely opens up the competition a lot more as we still have bench and deadlift ahead.
Yeah, again, right, anything can happen. This is still very early into the day. These are just squats. Lifters still have to do 3 more bench presses and 3 deadlifts. So plenty of shakeups can happen, plenty of misses, plenty of hits. And hopefully all these lifters come out with PRs at the end of the day.
Alvin pushing.
Yeah, good attempt for Alvin.
Yeah. 232.5 kilos. That's a good lift. As Brian loads 310 here, 683 pounds on the bar for his 3rd attempt. Wow.
Oh my goodness, Brian.
What a fight. Way to regain balance.
And with a 17.5 kilo jump, that is a huge addition to his total.
Wow, what a big squat there for his 3rd attempt. As we head into our heaviest squat, David about to take 335 kilos on platform 2. Taking a jump from his second there, he definitely must be confident in his strength. As Sean about to take 247.5 on platform 1. That looked very solid there for him.
And ladies and gentlemen, on platform 2, David Sampson missed his 2nd attempt, but is still opting to go up just a 5 kilo jump to 335, 738 pounds.
Ridiculous.
For the 100 kilo lifter. This is 3.3 times his body weight.
Looking very strong today. Let's see what he has. Wow.
Let's see if the referees like that depth.
That is a good lift.
And I apologize, it was the knees that he got called on for his last attempt, but no issue on his 3rd.
John here on platform 1, retaking 255 as we move on to our next flight there on platform 2. John walks out 255 kilos. And he hits it with ease. Must have misgrooved the 2nd rep there. And had the confidence to take it again. Very well done. Let's look for him.
Ryan Troy up next, 255 kilos, just a 5 kilo jump there. Ryan is currently our leader in the Teen 2 division for the 100.
And Devin Clark there, solid opener there as we're moving on to our 110 kilo lifters there on platform 2 and beginning to wrap up with our 3rds here on platform 1 for this flight of our 100 kg lifters. Ryan on platform 2 with one of the most unique singlets I've seen.
All Canadianed out.
Nice. That's good for the Ryan on platform 1. Now Ryan on platform 2 also smokes his opener there.
And get the maple syrup, get the pancakes, because that moved like butter.
That did move like butter, yep.
Ricardo Gomez up next, trying to cross over the 600-pound mark. 270.
And Ricardo here, 272.5.
We're down to our final 4 squats on platform 1. William Myers, 262.5, plenty deep there. Gets up no issue. Let's see what the referees say. 3 whites on 2, and Ricardo Gomez with the fight on 1. Yep, the referees like that. 3 white lights.
And Ricardo nominated or currently forecasted for 3rd in the junior 100 kilo category, and going 3 for 3 on squats today is definitely a solid start there, as we are ready for Ronaldo with just shy of 300 kilos, 297.5 kilos here for his 3rd squat as well. Definitely one to look out for. He is forecasted 2nd amongst the 100 kg juniors.
Yeah, and Ronaldo, if successful with this attempt, is applying significant amount of pressure to Gasal, who's currently forecasted in 1st. If successful with this one on this opening attempt on with this 3rd attempt on platform 1, I'm sorry, he is just trailing 15 kilos behind Gasal, who's currently forecasted 1st.
Definitely a tight race still, with plenty of lifting left. On platform 2, we have Felicio, referred to as Femipio by some of his friends. But he is ready as Ronaldo grinds for that 3rd squat. All smiles. Looks like a good lift from our angle. It's a good lift indeed, and the race is on. Felicio here with 265 kilos on the bar. Very controlled descent, a very smooth opener as well. Now for our 110 kilo open lifters, based on their forecasted totals, definitely tight in terms of where the placings could end up being. So handlers definitely will be trying to select and really focus on their weight selections as much as possible. As Alex gets ready to retake 300 here and smokes it. And hit step this time, and it is a good lift. Our final squat for Flight C on platform 1, 315 kilos.
And ladies and gentlemen, Lachlan Ireland is squatting just under 700 pounds, and he is a teenager, ladies and gentlemen. He is 19 years old, breaking a world record.
The energy here is electric as everyone is ready to witness what he might be able to do.
Again, based off of how 307.5 moved, I have no doubt in my mind this is going to go up.
Wow, as a teen 3 is ridiculous, as Curtis gets ready with 277.5 on platform 2. Let's go, Lachlan. Big brace.
Plenty deep. Let's go.
Wow.
There he goes. That looked like it could have really been a 2nd attempt or
really
anything like that.
Yeah.
Again, a new world record in the 100 kilo teen 3 division. And had he registered in the open, that would have been the 2nd highest squat of this session.
Ridiculous. As Timothy here on platform 2 gets ready for 285 as we enter our later half of the flight here on squats. And we begin with Flight D for platform 1, our teen 110 kilo lifters here. Timothy in the all-white A7 colorway here. Hunter taking 150 on platform 1. Easy opener. And a clean opener there for Timothy. But it is a no lift there. 2 reds. Looks like it was most likely on depth. And based on the attempts here, a lot of our lifters will be still going up to their 2nd attempts, even if they missed their openers. Could be, again, like we mentioned, attributed to nerves. The very first lift of the competition. As on platform 1, we have Josiah here with 172.5 kilos. No knee sleeves.
Just pure raw lifting there by Josiah.
Wow. Teen 1 lifter too, opening at that weight. Very impressive. Mason is up next with 190 as his opener. Teen 2 lifter.
Kaleni Kintaro is up next, 290 kilos for his opening attempt. We're almost done with our opening squats on platform 2, and we are just getting rolling. Platform 1, our lifters are hitting their attempts. So far, so good.
And Mason here, unracking 190. Very well done there. Looks like it's a good lift for Mason. Good lifts on both platforms 1 and 2 as we're wrapping up with openers like Kevin had mentioned on platform 2. Pushing into the mid 600s now. Aiden with 210 as his opener on platform 1.
Got Danner Dunstan up next, 292.5 for his opening squat. And Aiden Kidd, let's see what the referees say on that one. 3 whites, that is a good lift.
Danner here, wow. Smokes 292.5. Looks like a no lift there.
Got called on depth by all 3 referees, so that's a lift needing some adjustment, because if all 3 referees do not believe that you squatted low enough, then just got to get a little bit deeper next time.
Right. Dustin with 501 on the bar, opening in that 500 plus pound range as he is ready. And now Dustin, one of our many athletes here kitted out in an A7 singlet. A7, one of the proud sponsors of this event. If you're in the venue, please be sure to check them out. Yeah,
just a huge thank to our sponsors who have been able to support USA Powerlifting and make these events possible. Be sure to check out all the vendors here at the convention center if you are with us. If not, then just go ahead and shop online at a7.com. Demand greatness.
Moving on to seconds here on platform 2. Seeing some pretty big jumps now. 15 kilo jump here for Devin. As on platform 1, still underway with our openers. 230 kilos for Jacob here. Big brace.
Yeah, and Devin Clark on platform 2 taking a 15 kilo jump, crossing over 600.
Very good attempt there.
Very nice.
Very fast squat by Devin as well. 2 out of 3 white lights. That's a good lift.
Patrick Peters up next on platform 2, taking a 10 kilo jump to 275, 606 pounds.
Jackson here pushing the bar up into the mid 500s range here for opening squats. 245 kilos, 540 pounds for his opener. Takes a big brace. Very easy. And Patrick unracking 275. 10 kilo jump from his opener here.
Bit of a delayed squat command there for Patrick on platform 2. I think the referees just waited for him to lock out his knees.
And a good lift.
That's a good lift.
Joshua here with 247.5 kilos for his opener. Narrower squat stance, but it's still no problem as he comfortably hits that and gets a good lift there. On platform 2, we have Mr. Canada, Ryan, back out here with 277.5 kilos.
Yeah, over on platform 1, we got Austin Oakley, 250 kilos. And you know what? This is actually about to be maybe my 3rd or 4th time seeing Austin Oakley compete. Lifter out of Indiana. I see him compete very often. He competed at Youth Nationals. He's a Teen 1, just barely turned 14 years old. So he's been doing this for quite some time, and it's surprising saying it at 14 and here for his opening squat. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, unable to get that squat up of 250 kilograms. He still has 2 more goes at it, right? It is a world record. It is a lot of weight. But you come to wonder whether or not this might be a case where he just opened too heavy.
Right, for sure. And it's tough because there's so many variables that go into meet day. You know, training can only give you so much data, but on the day there are many things that can affect your performance. And Curtis reattempts 277.5 kilos, looked a lot deeper there. Good lift for him with 3 whites, as Connor on platform 1 also takes 250. Still, huge weight, especially as a Teen 3 lifter. Connor, wow. Blink and you'll miss it. That was fast, and that was an easy 3 white lights for Connor there. As we're ending off openers here very soon on platform 1. William here on platform 2 with 277.5 keys for his second.
Very good attempt there for William.
Eli taking 252.5 kilos. Second heaviest opener for this flight. Makes very quick work of it. And that's a good lift for Eli. As we head, we have Fimipiu Felicio as he takes 280 for his second on platform 2. And we are getting ready for a 300 kilo opener by Braden on platform 1. Braden, a Georgia local here, definitely a crowd favorite, as Felicio takes 280 for his second. A little bit of a fight, but looked good from our angle.
Yeah, and that's a little bit what kind of what you expect, right? The opener is supposed to be something to just get you on the board, something you know you can hit, and that second attempt is really supposed to be something you can gauge for what your third attempt is going to be. It's not your absolute max yet, right? But it will certainly give you the indicator for how much do I have on the day? How much can I realistically go up without tipping over? And that's all what powerlifting is about.
Definitely.
It's about making attempts, right? We see it time and time again that it's the people that go 9 for 9 typically are the ones that win, especially in competitive weight classes like the 100s and the 110s.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Now, Braden smoking 300. Braden definitely one to keep in mind because he is a Teen 3 lifter who is currently nominated first in the open category for the 110s. Let's see how he builds his total across the day as Walter hits. It's 2 reds there for 290. Looks like a dab.
Now, Walter's in a very difficult spot here. He attempted 270 for his opener, opted to go up 20 kilos, and we just saw there, it looked like a good attempt. He got deep. It looked like he got depth, but he grinded it out, right? It was a little bit of work, but now he's in a difficult position since the referees called him on depth again. So now he will have to go and retake that weight for a 3rd and final time, hopefully to stay on the board and stay in the meet.
Into seconds here on platform 1 as Hunter takes a 10 kilo jump to 160. And Timothy getting ready for 300 for his second. 15 kilo jump. Must be confident he can hit it for his second. Hunter gets 2 whites there. Good lift on platform 1. Timothy there hits the second.
Unfortunately got called on depth again. He does have a very interesting squat, right? You can see how he just kind of folds over, and it's very difficult for the referees to be able to judge depth since his hips do kind of rise as he folds over, which, I mean, he took a bit of a risk going up and trying for that weight, but he is now in another spot similar to Walter as far as being stuck with going 0 for 2 leading into the third squat.
And it's interesting because I think Timothy's squat, again, your body, the way your body's shaped, your leverages, all affects how the movement goes. And Timothy, taller lifter, longer femurs, obviously is going to make it hard when that squat pattern is very folded over. But we have no doubt he'll hit his third, as it was a good lift there for Josiah on his second on platform 1. Danner here, platform 2, 307. Also missed his opener. Let's see what happens here on his second.
And we're seeing this become a kind of a trend in the 110 open. We have both all three, Timothy, Walter, and Danner, who have gone 0 for 2 in these squats and are now essentially going into the third round, trying to just stay in the meet. It's not just a how high can I place, but can I survive, the referees?
As it's been mainly all good lifts here for platform 1, flight D. Mason hit a second there of 195. Aiden up next with 230 for his second. And Kalani on platform 2 took a huge jump, 20 kilos from 290 to 310. Wow. Aiden with speed and comes out the hole. Looks like he hit that there for sure. It's a good lift. Wow.
It looks like Mr. Kintaro gets a good lift, 3 white lights.
As we cap off second attempts here on platform 2 with Alex taking 315 kilos for his second attempt. Pretty big jump from his opener. Jacob here taking 240, 529 pounds for his second attempt on platform 1. And yeah, especially with a lot of these misses on platform 2, it definitely is opening up the floor, right? We'll have to see what our lifters choose for the rest of their attempts here within the 110 class.
Jacob with that grind of a squat picks up an additional 10 kilos to his total.
Very well done.
Very ecstatic, very excited. Very good job for Jacob. Alexander, 315.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good attempt there.
Lift is good.
And now, for those of you watching, we are now moving on to our third and final round of squats on platform 2. Patrick Peter will kick us off with 285.
And Dustin here with 242.5 kilos on platform 1. Sinks it looks like, and very good attempt selection there. Nice second attempt, and it's a good lift as Patrick comes out for his third, 285 kilos. Wow.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit more in the tank, but he took a very planned just 10 kilogram jump, so he definitely earned that 285.
Austin coming back out for 250 now. For those who are unaware, you cannot go down in weight between attempts in powerlifting meets. So he has to take at least 250 or more here.
Yeah, he looks a little bit more fired up now, a little bit more calm and composed. Let's see if he can nail this world record attempt.
Come on! Yep.
2-1. That is a new world record for the Teen 1 Austin Oakley, 550 pounds.
Ryan McDonald here, 285.
You might just wonder if he's Canadian.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I see.
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
That's a good lift, though.
Yeah, nonetheless, I see he's being handled by Mr. Dane Roach, who's a Category 1 referee. He's been here all weekend as well.
Once again, shout out to our referees and staff here at the event, and for everyone helping help out the event to help it run so smoothly, especially with how many lifters we have this year. Almost 900 lifters this weekend for this year's Raw Nationals.
We got a very aggressive attempt here. Devin Clark looking to add an additional 15 kilos to his squat.
Very good second by Jackson there.
Yeah, he kind of took some pretty big jumps, so let's hope this moves well.
No lift for Jackson on depth.
And Devin Clark smokes 287.5.
Wow.
Let's see what those referees say. Unfortunately, he gets a no lift call for depth. Definitely, the weight was very easy, just needed to get a little bit deeper there.
Definitely. And Joshua here walking out to 262.5 kilos for his second attempt. While on platform 2, we have Felicio taking a 7.5 kilo jump from his second. Based on how his second moved, I think this is a very appropriate jump. And Joshua fights through. Good catch on platform 2 there.
Yeah, huge thanks to our spotters and loaders who are just quick to react and keeping our lifters safe.
As platform 1 has Connor coming out to 270 kilos. Another 20 kilo jump, a lot of big 20 kilo jumps between attempts. And, you know, it makes you wonder, again, the jumps between weights really depends on the lifter, but big jumps, from what I understand, could lead to big confidence. And we'll see here what Connor has in store.
Yeah, that looks deep enough for William Myers there. He gets past that sticky point. Now let's see what those referees call him. And they said that is a good lift. Connor Crisby up next. Yep, he smokes that 270, and he gets those 3 white lights. And yeah, really, it goes back to those huge attempts with the weight classes being this close to one another. One missed attempt can really set you back a couple placings, right? I mean, if you're jumping 20, 15 kilos at a time, one missed lift can really make or break your competition or kind of put you outside of the podium. Or on the flip side, if you take a bigger jump, right, and you smoke it, that can really boost your confidence, boost that total, and land you in that top spot when it comes down to it.
Definitely a matter of risk versus reward, as Walter, speaking about risk, needs to hit this here.
All right, let's go, Walter. Come on, let's get this on the board.
Sinks it.
I'll be honest, it looked deeper. It looked deeper than the first 2. Let's see if those referees liked it, and they do. Walter stays in the meet, gets 290, and can continue and post a total.
Wow, so Braden, let me tell you, I've been following Braden's training, and I'm pretty sure 320 kilos is already near all-time PR range for his second attempt here. Now, I spoke to Braden's coach in the back who competed yesterday, and he said the game plan was as simple as being the best. So Braden definitely here looking to take as much as he can, already nominated first for both categories. Let's see how he makes 320 move as Curtis takes 295 on platform 2.
A solid attempt there for Curtis, and Braden now. Unfortunately, it just looked like his torso sort of shifted a little bit, kind of did a little bit of that helicopter movement, right? You know, that right side kind of shifted inward, so just kind of knocked him a little bit out of balance. But that is 320 kilos, so that is over 700 pounds for the team lifter.
Another lifter of on the platform here on platform 2 that is in bomb out danger. Timothy needs to hit this 300 kilo squat here in order to stay in the meet.
And very crucial squat if you ask me. I mean, Timothy is forecasted in 4th if successful with this lift, so he is in danger of walking away with either a medal or going home without even being able to post a total. So let's go, Timothy. Let's see if you can get this 300 kilogram depth.
As Hunter kicks off our thirds here on platform 1 with 172.
See what those referees call him.
No good, unfortunately, for Hunter on platform 1.
We're still waiting on those referee lights on platform. Unfortunately, the referees did not believe that Timothy squatted low enough, so he unfortunately will be disqualified from the competition.
As Josiah gets ready for 187.5 kilos here for his third attempt.
Again, and I mean, you can't make this up, right? We have Danner, who's also at risk of bombing out. Missed his opener, decided to go up to 15 kilos to 307.5, and is now trying to stay in the meet.
Wow, Josiah. Teen 1 lifter squatting above 405 pounds, essentially sleeveless.
Very good job for Josiah on platform 1. Now Danner, come on, if he is successful.
Come on,
let's see that. Let's see it.
fight.
Oh, unfortunately that bar came down, and yeah, luckily the spotters were there to catch it, but that bar was coming down, so that would have been a no lift anyways.
Danner also unfortunately bombing out here. And the 4 is open here. Mason taking 200 for his third on platform 1. And platform 2, we are getting ready for a 322.5 kilo third attempt here by Kalani. Mason, unfortunately, unable to hit his third there. Still only losing out on 5 kilos. Still plenty of lifting to go for him. Aiden getting ready for 250 here. Massive jump for his third. And this is a 2.5 kilo PR attempt, meet PR attempt for Kalani. Let's see if he can secure this. Fights for it, pushes through, wow. And it looks like he has it.
And Aiden Kidd,
Wow.
3 white lights with 250 kilograms, and that is actually a 12.5 kilogram PR for Aiden. I mean,
Wow.
really significant improvement from just competing earlier this year at Michigan High School and Collegiate Open.
And you wonder, you know, hitting these numbers as a teen 1, 2, 3 lifter.
Yeah, I mean, these kids are just seeing some insane rates of progress. We got Jacob Borromero up next, 250 kilograms, taking a 10 kilo jump.
As Alex walks out, same weight on the bar, 322.5 kilos for his third.
One of our heavy hitters on platform 2 right now, currently forecasted in 5th.
And he is dialed in. Jacob fighting for it, but unable to get 250 kilos for his third. Still all smiles there.
Fortunately, just not enough juice left in the tank there for Alexander. He will be credited with 315 kilos. And ladies and gentlemen, over on platform 2, that'll conclude our squat session for today. So we are gonna take a 10-minute intermission while our spotters and loaders set up the weight for the bench press. And we will see you all back in 10.
Meanwhile, platform 1 here, halfway through their third attempts, as Dustin takes 255, and great attempt selection there.
Yeah, picks up an easy 12.5 kilos there. Very crucial to the total, as he's looking one of the lifters to end up in that top 5 position.
Very well done there. Next up is Jackson with 260 here, reattempting it. I believe he missed it on strength for his second. We'll see if that was truly an issue of strength or maybe just a small technical misgroove there.
Yeah, and almost call it an important lift for Jackson here. He's looking to find himself in the top 5, currently battling it out with Dustin, Jackson, and Jacob, all separated by just a 5 kilo spread on the forecast. So call it an important lift here for Jackson. He's looking to nail 260, 573 pounds.
Huge squat here. Big brace.
And there it is.
Wow.
Let's see if depth was hit. And the referees like that one, 2-1.
And we see this a lot, honestly, especially in the squat. Sometimes a missed attempt isn't because of strength. It's a small matter of balance. And, you know, when you have 500, 600, 700 pounds on your back, you can imagine balance is just as much important as it can be.
And ladies and gentlemen, we just saw on screen Gino holding chips on the bar, right? And chips are fractional plates like the 0.5 that is going on the 260, which indicates this is a world record attempt. Austin Oakley broke the world record in his opening squat, or his second attempt squat, excuse me, but he opted to go up 10.5 kilos here and will break his own world record that was just set.
Only a T1 lifter here.
Unfortunately, he still walks away with the world record. Unable to hit 260, but still claims 250 for the Teen 1 world record.
Needless to say, definitely a very bright future ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's just 15 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
Joshua here taking 267.5 kilos for his third attempt. And Joshua currently nominated second here within the category for the 110 lifters in the Team 3 division.
Yeah, the Team 3 is currently led by Braden Naus, which we'll see him squat later as we round out this fight. But Joshua and Connor are both in a really tight battle, both forecasted with 710 and 700 respectively. So these squats for both Joshua and Connor are very important, since it's going to be really coming down to the last pull.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it here. We had the spotters and loaders and referees double checking, triple checking the bar, making sure that the appropriate weight is loaded for Mr. Joshua. There we go, bar is loaded.
Come on, Joshua. Huge brace.
Depth looked good there. Let's see if we can fight it. Fortunately, just not there. Just kind of ran out of energy there past that sticking point.
Moving on to our last 3 squats here for this platform for this session. Eli with 282.5 kilos here. Let's see if he can break the streak of missed thirds that is currently starting.
And Eli, based on the forecasts, has a potential to sneak into that top 5 podium ranking. So very critical squat here, just adding kilos to the total, trying to go 3 for 3.
Very strong walkout here. Gets the start command. Wow.
That looked plenty deep. Let's see if the referees like that.
And he is ecstatic. Let's go. That is a good lift. 2.5 kilo jump here for 285 for Connor. Connor took a 20 kilo jump from his opener to his second. 15 kilo jump from second to third.
Yeah, so he's really covering some insane
Oh,
ground.
yeah.
Just 35 kilos from the opener. So this goes to show the big of jumps that these lifters are taking in the 110 class.
200.
These are teenagers, ladies and gentlemen. So these
ridiculous.
Are, yeah, it's just insane to think that these guys can't even drink yet, right? They
Not at all. I mean, they're out here squatting low 600-pound.
barely able to vote, and they're squatting just well over 600 pounds.
Big brace here. Oh my goodness.
Good squat there for Connor. Let's see what those referees say.
You love
3
to
white
see
lights.
it
That is
there.
a good lift.
Very well selected there. You know, could have had maybe another 2.5 kilos on the day, but took what was confidently there.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have Braden Naus up next, our teen lifter who attempted 700 pounds on his second attempt. Had a little bit of a misgroove there, but will be coming back again to retake that on his third. Braden Naus, not only is he forecasted to win the Teen 3 division, but he is currently your leader in the open class. So out of all the open lifters, he is your top spot contender.
Building, getting excited here for Braden. 320 here was a huge squat. Hitting this will keep him up ahead. Come on, Braden. Comfortable on rack here. Big brace.
Fortunately, just not there today. He will walk away with a 300 kilo squat. That will set him back and just open the door a little bit for both Curtis and Jeffrey to come in and sneak into that top spot. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our squat session for both Platform 1 and Platform 2. We will be taking a 10-minute intermission. Meanwhile, our spotters and loaders set up the platform for the bench press. We will see you back in 10 minutes.
Get access to world-class coaching in real time from anywhere. Whether in a small group setting or one-on-one, our coaches are in your ear during your training sessions, watching every rep and correcting every mistake.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the bench press session of the 2025 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championship in the Atlanta International Convention Center. We are kickstarting off with our bench press attempts. Platform 2 is trailing along. We've had good lifts so far for Zachary Zills and Gregory. We have Cameron up next, taking 162.5 as his opening attempt bench. And we'll be started momentarily on platform 1 while we conclude our intermission. We got about 3 minutes left for 1 to begin. Good bench press there for Cameron on platform 2. He gets 3 white lights. And just talking a little bit more about what you might expect to see during the bench press. We have 3 commands that are issued from the referees. There is the start command, the press command, and the rack command. So lifters are going to have to be paying attention and hearing closely to the referees as they will be receiving instructions all throughout their attempt in order for the lift to count. Referees are making sure that the lifters lower the bar to their chest, hold it motionless on the chest. They're ensuring their butt stays in contact with the bench at all times, and their feet remain fully flat, so heels and toes remaining flat on the platform while they are benching. For those of you who are just tuning in this session, we have our men's 100 and 110 kilogram lifters competing. Specifically on platform 2, we have all of our open men competing. So we've seen some pretty heavy squats from both platforms 1 and platforms 2, and over on platform 1, we have a lot of our teen lifters competing. So stay tuned for that as we will see various records broken on either side. Brian Quimson is up next, 175 kilograms for his opening bench. We're just getting close to the 800-pound mark for the bench press. That's a good attempt for Brian. He gets 3 white lights. Devin Tran is up next, 177.5. And as we move through the bench press, we're going to start seeing a wide array of techniques utilized throughout the course of lifting. As we mentioned in the squats, where all these lifters are lifting in relatively same body weight categories, right? 100 kilos and 110. However, we're going to see a wide just range of different grip widths, feet position, arches, just all of the sorts. So be excited to just see a lot of variability in the bench press.
We are about to move on to the bench here on platform 1 as well, with 30 seconds left. Starting with Alvin, 95 kilos for his opener on platform 1. 185 kilos here for an opener on platform 2, pushing into the 400+ pound range. Bit of a longer press command there. Now, Kevin can probably speak to what the press command constitutes or what you need to get a press command.
Absolutely. So what we just saw over on platform 2, we had a bit of a long hold for the lifter, but however, you might see that the lifter touched the bar on the chest, but that bar was still settling. It was kind of coming up and down, settling on the chest. So the referee is making sure that that bar comes motionless. That means there is 0 movement on that bar. And once that bar becomes motionless, then you receive the press command. So it's not like the referees are waiting X amount of seconds to give you the press command. No, they're just looking for that bar to come to a complete stop, and then they'll give you that press command. So we'll see various styles of benching. Here we'll see lifters adopting what we call a sink, where lifters sink that bar deeper into their chest, right, trying to generate a bit of momentum as they get it out. or we see very soft touches, right? And a soft touch would typically come with a faster press command. However, you might require the lifter to just have to stay a little bit tighter as they lower the bar and almost hover that bench just right over their chest.
And that's a good lift for Alvin on platform 1 and for TJ on platform 2. Both good examples of what a soft touch would look like when executed there on the bench press. Shane here. Shane opening with a monstrous 190 kilos for his bench press. Fun fact, he actually benches 639 pounds equipped.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an insane number, and you can't even, like, that's what some of these lifters ended up squatting today, right? And what Shane utilizes is an equipped bencher, which does add an extra layer of support. However, I mean, just having and holding 639 pounds in your hands, that is no easy feat, ladies and gentlemen. And here he just smoked 420 pounds with raw lifting.
That's insane. I mean, you're talking about the equivalent weight of a motorcycle being pressed off your chest.
Yeah, basically.
Essentially superhuman, if you ask me. As Sean gets ready for 125 kilos for his opener here on platform 1. Very impressive benches here for our teen lifters.
Brandon Tomer still coming out to bench press, was unfortunately unable to register a squat, but is still coming out for the bench press portion, which, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, these lifters train months in and on end. They make so many sacrifices to come out here and compete on the national stage. So they are getting their money's worth. They are showing out what they can do, right? And here Brandon, gets a very easy press command there with 195, and he gets 3 white lights.
Good lift there for Sean on platform 1. Tommy walks out to 130 kilos. And again, a special shout out goes to our spotters here. You know, a lot of our lifters here opting for a assisted liftoff, which is available to you on the bench press. Some of them not going for it. At the end of the day, it is personal preference, but shout out to our spotters here for also helping with that, as well as David, as we mentioned, someone to keep an eye on. 210 kilos for his opener. Moves like air.
Yeah, and you mentioned the liftoff, right? So talk to me a little bit more about what might be the differences between receiving a liftoff or just giving yourself a self handoff.
Right. So the best advantage to getting a liftoff is, you know, less energy wasted. You know, especially when you're considering unracking, you know, 300, 400 plus pounds. A lot of that energy could be spent towards the attempt itself. But again, lifters who choose to err away from liftoff is mainly because of how standard it could be. You know, it's not in your control, and if that's something you really want to keep under control and eliminate as a variable, you might opt to not get a liftoff as well. But ultimately, our spotter crew, they do their best that they can to provide the consistent liftoff, and you can see some of our lifters here providing detailed instructions so they get the result that they want as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the consistency, right? Replicating what you've done in the gym, right? What you do at home, and trying to put it here on display on the platform. One of the key things when it comes to coaching athletes and just making sure that they are having the best performance they can is ensuring that the circumstances, the variables, all of the environment when it comes to warm-ups, how they are approaching their mindset is all the same as what they've been accustomed to and used to during training, right? The more you have, the more control you have over the externals, the variables on the platform here, the better performance you can have on the day.
Definitely, for sure, and I think it helps that we have some of the highest quality equipment here at Nationals, thanks to our sponsor TSS, some of the best combo racks, plates, and power bars in the business right now. And I don't know from your personal experience, but the TSS pad is a great pad to bench on. And you can see our lifters here. Having really good equipment makes it easier for you to execute at your highest strength level. As we see Gregory hitting 170 here for his second attempt, and Quentin taking 135 for his opener. Very strong presses here. And you know, as the bench event goes on, we're starting to see a lot of the subtotals build up here, and this is a good time to see where the placings are for a lot of our lifters. And you know, as a handler, someone behind the scenes handling an athlete, this is where you start thinking about, you know, what are our competitors going to do? What should we start putting in for, what should we start thinking about attempts wise? A lot of the mental sort of aspect of the sport that, you know, I think it's a little underappreciated. There's a lot of thinking there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really is a chess and math game, right? You're trying to predict and trying to think ahead of what your competitors might do. But on the flip side, right, you're trying to see how much more realistically does your own lifter have left in the tank. When it comes to the squat and the bench press, you're trying to build the best subtotal possible, right? Try to lead with the highest projected total you can and let it come down to the final deadlift. Because these missed lifts in the squat and the bench press are really going to bite you from behind when you are coming in not at your full potential, knowing that you could have probably squeezed out a few more kilos on either lift. So these, from the coaching perspective, you're really trying to not make your lifter miss, right? So that might be more, easier said than done, but not pushing your lifter to their absolute limit and risk tipping over. So that is a bit of a mental game you have to have when you are dealing with bench press, especially at these massive weights. Like we just see Refner grinding out 177.5, just almost at that 400-pound mark.
Very solid press there for him. And, you know, speaking in terms of the different techniques that we see, a lot of lifters here choosing to opt for a belt, but also a lot of them not using a belt on the bench press. What do you think that comes down to in terms of the preferences lifters have? Yeah,
you said it yourself, right? It is a preference. So a lot of the times when lifters use a belt, they are trying to absorb as much of the energy in that upper torso area, right? Not trying to create intra-abdominal pressure, right? They're trying to keep all that pressure high up in the chest, letting that bar sort of sink a little bit. We might see that here for Mr. Brian Quimson. And on the other hand, right, Mr. Lachlan is having a really just sort of soft touch on the chest and not really absorbing much of the energy, just staying really tight. And I mean, we see it here. Both lifters receive those 3 white lights.
Good press there for Lachlan. Lachlan currently forecasted first here in the Teen 3 division for the 100 kilo lifters. As we push into the high 300s here, Alexander with 165 for his opening bench. And Gusau taking 185 again for his second attempt. Misses opener on bench.
It appears that he got some blue cards on bench press, and what those mean on this discipline is either his elbows were not locked or there was some up and down movement of the bar.
Easy touch there.
Yeah,
wow.
It looks like it'll be a good lift this time around. There it is.
And the bench, you know, some would argue that it is the most technical out of all 3 of the lifts. So much that goes into it, thinking about your setup from your legs, your back, your arms, your chest, holding tension everywhere. Compared to the squat and deadlift, how do you think lifters approach the bench press differently from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, again, you can't really approach the bench press with too much aggression, right? You see these lifters laying down on the bench, setting their feet, setting their back, their hands, right? There's so much moving parts when you really think about it in the bench press, right? Everything it's a full body movement when you, powerlifting is all 3 disciplines are full body movements. So you have to really stay in control, stay tight, and stay calm, because the moment you begin showing, I guess, excess forms of aggression, or you start just kind of losing all sorts of tightness, that can really be detrimental to the execution of your bench press. And even from a referee perspective, there is a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind. You're looking at the lifter's feet, the butt, if it's staying in contact with the bench, the hands ensuring that they're within the 81 centimeter marks, or as we most commonly know it, the rings on the bar, and ensuring that bar touches the chest and is remaining motionless, right? So there's many moving parts and moving elements to the bench press.
TJ with a nice smooth 195 here as Ricardo takes 170 for his opener. Very smooth there. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I think already you see lifters take sort of a not so clear approach in terms of squat and deadlift, in terms of do they approach it hyped up, aggressive. You have some that do, some that are a lot more cool and collected. But especially with the bench press, for sure, there's so many boxes to check off. Shane here, speaking of that, hyping himself up here. Now Shane's competition best bench press is already 200 kilos here, 441 pounds, and that's his competition best in the raw category. As we mentioned, Shane is also an equipped bench professional. Let's see what he has here. As Ronaldo gets ready for 180 here on platform 1.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around benching a number that high of 600. I mean, he makes 200 kilos, 441 pounds. Makes it look really, really easy, if I'm going to be honest.
And you know, I wonder, because training equipped and then going to raw, you know, it's not as similar as people might think. Very different execution-wise in terms of what you're thinking about. One of the most common things with benching equipped is, of course, fighting the resistance of that bench shirt.
Yeah, and equipped lifting very differently, right? You're pulling that bar down to your chest, right? Because it's almost like a rubber band. That rubber band wants to spring those arms out, really wants to lock those arms. So you, as a lifter, when you're benching equipped, have to pull that bar down. However, here in the raw portion of powerlifting, these lifters have to remain in control of the bar the entire time and have to push against that bar wanting to come down.
Alvin taking 102 for his second on platform 1. Brandon unfortunately missing 207 there for his second.
Not the best day for Brandon, but he'll have one more go at 207.5 for the third round of bench.
Still very heavy bench there for Brandon for this weight class especially. Very impressive. David Sampson gets 215 loaded on the bar here. 474 pounds almost here. Very, very big press. Heaviest bench so far on platform 2 for this session as Caleb gets ready for 130 on platform 1. Wow. And man, talk about pure strength. David with minimal arch, closer grip, still pushing 215 kilos like it's nothing.
Yeah, and you'll see that from lifters that have generally a narrower grip, right? They're just gonna have just a lot more muscle on their frame since they need a ton of muscle to move through that range of motion.
Right.
That's just naturally what you would find when the lifters have a closer range. They're using a lot more of their arms as opposed to their chest comparatively to that wider grip.
David building quite the subtotal here so far today. Honestly, hit his third attempt squat, hit a really solid second attempt bench. Platform 1 has Sean ready for 132.5 kilos here for his second, and Zachary kicking off our thirds here with 155 kilos.
Platform 2 is moving pretty quickly here, already on thirds.
Oh yeah. Sean pushes 132 kilos here. And that is a good lift as well.
Quinton Nelson taking a conservative 2.5 kilo jump.
Greg here on platform 2 with 175 keys. Very nice there. And that is a good lift. 2 out of 3 white lights. And you know, powerlifting meets, especially getting through 9 attempts in longer flights, obviously a very long time for athletes that they have to stay on top of their physical game. What do you think athletes do in terms of nutrition on meet day?
Yeah, you have to consume very fast acting and very easily digestible carbs, right? You don't want to get into those complex meals of eating super complicated steaks, protein, anything of the sort. You want to stick to foods that not only are you used to, but foods that you can digest quickly, right? You want energy to be concentrated on the lifts, so you don't want to spend energy in digesting foods.
Right.
A lot of the times we see people consuming rice, bagels, donuts, right? A lot of the stuff you wouldn't normally eat during the prep, but you need those fast acting carbs. And actually here at the meet, we'd like to give a shout out to Sour Strips, who's providing a lot of meat day nutrition for a lot of our athletes. Sour Strips is a gummy flavored candy. It is owned by lifters and is for lifters. And Sour Strips has been a pretty amazing product. I'm gonna be honest, during my training sessions, I usually keep a pack in my backpack. So always thankful to have them supporting these competitions and keeping our lifters fueled up. Shout out to Sour Strips.
Tommy here with 137.5 kilos for his second attempt. As Revner fights, can he lock out his right arm there? And he's unable to. Unfortunately, lock out his right arm there to get the 180 kilo press. Very good fight. And, you know, alongside nutrition and what you're eating, hydration also really matters, especially in this heat, especially if you're living in the South right now, or even, I guess, all across the country now at this point. Training these long SBD sessions in this heat, you will sweat so much. And the need for electrolytes is really big.
Absolutely, and you say electrolytes, and we think of Element, the go-to rehydration and electrolyte product here for our powerlifters at this championship. They've supplied us with tons of electrolytes, tons of rehydration fuel for our lifters. So when you're thinking of body recomp, the weight cuts that these athletes undergo to make their weight classes, Element has them covered. Brian Quimson up next with an amazing grind here, picking up an extra 2.5 kilos, 187.5 goes to his total, and that is 3 white lights.
Very smart attempt selection there for Brian. And that is a meet PR match actually for Brian, so very good confident selection there.
Devin Tran up next, 190 kilos loaded on the bar. Meanwhile, Ryan Troy taking a 10 kilo jump to 155 for his second attempt.
And Ryan setting up his arch here very nicely. Now, grip width is obviously a choice that lifters have when it comes to the bench press, but there are some rules surrounding that. Can you speak on those, Kevin?
Yeah, so absolutely. So all of our barbells here are made by TSS, and just a quick shout out to TSS for providing us with all the warm-up and platform equipment, and all the plates are manufactured by TSS. But these bars have those rings, and those are exactly 81 centimeters apart from each other, and those rings are the maximum allowable grip width for the bench press. So the maximum allowed width will be your index finger fully covering that ring. So as long as those index fingers are covering that ring, then that grip is considered legal, and anything within that is allowed here in the sport of powerlifting under the rules of the USAPL.
And John Paul there hits his second bench attempt. Oh, there we go on platform 2.
Again, we see that again with the touch. We have Gausu coming down to his chest, but having a little bit of a tough time keeping that bar settled when that bar finally touches his chest. Unfortunately, he gets 2 white lights and walks away with a good lift.
He's on a tear right now. He hit his third on his squat, hit his third on his bench.
Building some really good momentum going into the deadlift.
Nicholas retaking 165 here. Now, 165 was heavy for his opener. Hoping that was just a technical misgroove here, and he has this on strength. Let's see how he handles this. TJ gets ready for 200 kilos for his third.
Unfortunately, it kind of looked like a strength issue at that point. I mean, hopefully Nicholas is able to come back and hit it on his third attempt, but it's not shaping up too well for him right now.
And Shane Brady here, 207.5 kilos for his third attempt. This will be a meet PR attempt, I believe. Very huge weight. He's getting excited here.
Yeah, just a huge bench press for Shane right here.
Ridiculous. And definitely making up some ground here on bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
To stay up there with the rest of the class. Easy press there for Lachlan. 165 for his second.
All eyes on Shane right now. He's looking to bench press over 450 pounds.
Good touch.
and it just looked like the brakes came on as he got off the chest, and he will still walk away with 200 kilos. Nothing to be disappointed with. 200 kilos is still a remarkable bench press for a 100 kilo man. I mean, that's a 2 times bodyweight bench press. How often do you see that?
Very rare there as Alex hits his second of 170. And we are on to the last 2 benches on platform 2 here. Brandon retaking 207, missed it on his second on what appeared to look like strength. Might have just been a misgroove. Let's see if he has it this time. He has a very, very controlled
self-unrack, very high arch, just very
extremely
calculated
technical
lifter. Yeah, unfortunately, it would just be a little bit too much for him there.
David capping off bench for this flight on platform 2. Can he break the streak of missed thirds here? He's taking a 2.5 kilo jump. Very smart, as you mentioned, considering the narrower grip bench. That strength drop off is quite sharp. Ricardo hits 182.5 kilos here for his second.
And David Sampson is competing in a regular session for the national championship. He is one of the contenders for that top spot. We still have a few more lifters who will be lifting later tonight in the primetime session, but David Sampson is trying to put up the highest total he can to fend off those competing later on in the primetime session.
Pushes through.
Yeah, and with that, he picks up an additional 2.5 kilos. Very valuable stuff there. David Sampson, 217.5.
Wow. Ronaldo here taking 187.5 keys to end off seconds here for this flight.
We see some Ronaldo Robinson fans in the comments. Let's go, Ronaldo. 187.5.
Nice sink there. Good press.
2-1. That lift is good.
Kicking off thirds here with Alvin for flight C on platform 1. 107.5 keys. Moving on to our next flight here on platform 2, our 110 lifters. It's a good lift there.
Patrick Peter up next, opening us up, 167.5. Alvin Liu taking a 5 kilo jump, 107.5. Third attempt bench press in the Team 2 division.
Very nice touch there.
Very good work there for Alvin Liu. He gets 3 white lights.
And Patrick there also securing 3 whites. Based on our subtotals from our last flight, it looks like David is up in the lead with the subtotal, but there is still a close race between many of the other lifters sitting around that high 400, 480, 490 subtotal mark. So it'll be nice to see how that shakes up when deadlifts start for that flight. Sean taking 135 here, a smaller jump. Let's see if he has it here for his third attempt.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a perfect day so far. Don't want to jinx anything, but he's gone 5 for 5. And hopefully after this bench press, after taking a conservative 2.5 kilo jump, he will go 6 for 6. Let's see him now. And there it is. Easy, 135 bench press. Yeah, I mean, in the Team 2 division, I mean, Ryan Troy currently leads the pack, and he will be forecasted with a 667.5 kilogram total. However, I mean, Sean, after having such a remarkable day so far, is really trying to apply some pressure, and we'll see it as we go into the deadlifts later on today.
Definitely, yeah. And it's always interesting because the deadlifts, that's the event where you typically see some of the largest jumps.
Right, yeah, I mean, anything can happen, right? I mean, all these numbers are just simply predictions, right? They're just forecasted placings, but however, these deadlift openers, I mean, I'm going to be honest, they really don't mean anything.
They don't. I mean, I feel like deadlift openers are typically the lightest, and the easiest lift just because of the nature.
Yeah, and for 100 kilo and 110 kilogram males, I mean, those can really be 20, 30 kilo jumps.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Quentin Nelson, 2-1, able to secure 137.5 after missing it on the second attempt. He walks away with that weight.
Felicio here taking 180 for his opener, already pushing into the near 400 range for these opening benches. Let's see how Felicio does here. Very easy press for him. Caleb getting ready to unrack 137.5 kilos here. Good pause. Presses, can he push through the sticking point? Unfortunately, unable to do that there. Walter coming out here with 185 on the bar. Easy press. And it's crazy because you think about the relative scale of these numbers. You know, anything above a 400-pound plus bench, that's the weight that a lot of professional athletes, you think about like professional NFL players are hitting, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do we see on social media where everyone turns their heads to witness a 405 4-plate date, right? But then these guys are benching this for openers, right?
Right.
I mean, it just goes to show the level of talent here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. Like, it's incredible to see these guys just repping 400 pounds like it's nothing.
And, you know, honestly, just as exciting is to see how the numbers that our team lifters are hitting as well. Like, considering powerlifting is very much a long-term sport and gains don't necessarily decline, you know, as soon as you turn a certain age. People are still hitting PRs over a spectrum of training ages, and very, very bright future ahead here for a lot of our teen lifters.
Yeah, I mean, you're a teenager for everyone's sake. Like, you are still in your teens, and you are progressing at this rate and competing on the national stage. That is truly impressive. And
Lane
Lane
fighting there.
Parsons
Wow.
over here, 145 with that grind. He gets 3 whites, and that
So
is a remarkable grind. One of the best grinds I've seen this session thus far.
Man, that has to be one of the best feelings, you know, being on the platform and hitting like a very tough fight with a rep.
Yeah, and after having a tough squat session, going 1
Yeah.
for 3 and hitting it on his third, he walks away with 145.
Curtis there hits his opener, 197.5. Heading into our last 2 opening benches here for Flight D on platform 2. Both 200 kilo plus benches. Ryan here taking 162.5 kilos.
Yeah, Ryan Troy is currently your leader in the 100 kilogram Team 2 division. I mean, we still got plenty of lifting left to go, but he is looking to go 6 for 6 after completing this bench. And a very narrow and very fast bench press there by Mr. William Myers.
Again, that narrow grip, very much like an explosive bench pattern, very dependent on pushing with as much force as
Yeah,
possible.
I mean, you're building so much tension just coming down, loading those triceps up. It's almost like that bar really wants to kind of push off of that chest.
Right.
And then works well for Myers there.
John here taking 165 for his third on platform 1, and we have Mr. Canada on platform 2 again, ending our flight with openers at 202. You know, I almost thought for a second his wrist straps had the maple leaf, but that is an easy opener as well. And great third for John Paul. And John Paul's attempt selection has been really good too. This is why it's important to have, you know, a lot of our handlers and coaches here, shout out to them as well. It's a lot of mental pressure. You know, lifters are already dealing with everything going on, being in the best physical and mental space they can be in. but very good attempt selections here so far. Now, Nicholas has to hit this bench press here.
Yeah, Nicholas is in that tough spot. Again, we saw on squats where these lifters are at risk of bombing out. And for Nicholas' case, he is currently sitting in the top 5 podium position. So if he hits this lift, he's going to walk away with a medal. However, if he doesn't, he will be walking home without even a total.
Come on, Nicholas.
Nicholas taking his time, getting that unrack from that head spotter and loader.
Patrick unable to hit his bench there.
All right, let's see it, Nicholas. Unfortunately, it'll just be a little bit too much for him on the day, and he will be bombing out and disqualified from the competition.
Alexander here taking 175 for his second. And Lachlan here taking 170 for his third attempt. 165 looked very smooth. Based on that second, I would assume 170 will also be similar for a third attempt here. Very controlled descent.
That was very fast press command too.
Nice. And Lachlan keeps his streak going. 6 for 6 so far.
Can't be mad about that.
Not at all.
Kaleni up next, 180 kilograms for his second attempt bench press. And you almost come to wonder how things are shaking up now that we had 2 people unfortunately be disqualified during the squat event, right? Now we have those 2 lifters were contenders for that top spot, and now since they're out of the picture and unable to post a total, that really just opens up the lifters for Felicio, Kaleni, Jeffrey, Alexander, right? All these lifters are capable of sneaking into that top 5 position. Fortunately, Kaleni gets 3 red lights gets yellow cards. Could be a command, could be his butt coming up, feet, all sorts of things, but he'll have one more go at it for the third.
Ricardo here walking out to 187.5 kilos for his third, and Devin getting ready for 185 here for his second attempt. Some huge totals here being predicted. Very good second there for Devin. And Ricardo just unable to press past that sticking point. Still only missing out on 5 kilos there. Very much able to be made up.
And we got now Mr. Ronaldo Robinson trying to pick up an additional 2.5 kilos, going from 187 to 190, 418 pounds.
Ronaldo with a near 800 kilo forecasted total. Getting this bench will be really good since he can help maintain that momentum and go 6 for 6. He's also registered in the open division as well. So Felicio there with 187, a little bit of a sticking point. Don't think it was up and down from our angle. It was a good lift. And Ronaldo fights through the sticking point. Just a little short there. That's okay. Only missing out on 2.5 kilos. And that wraps up that flight on platform 1. We are now on to our 110 kilo lifters on platform 1. As Danner gets ready to take 200 kilos on platform 2 for his second. Hunter with 87.5 kilos. Sinks it and presses it very easily. Also an easy press there for Danner. Jumping with joy. know, typically we are seeing smaller jumps in the bench press. Although, I'll be honest, for these weight classes, I've been seeing like some 12.5 kilo jumps.
I mean, we see a 15 kilo jump for Walter on platform 2. Walter really is trying to make up some ground after having to retake his squat, getting called on depth. Really trying to pick up those kilos that he might have lost in the squat event.
Very nice bench there.
Yeah, 200 move well. Move like a second attempt.
Wonder what his third will be. Josiah here with 117.5 kilos for his opener on platform 1. Again, only a teen 1. And you may notice there are blocks being put on platform 1 here.
Lifters have options to pick between 3 different sets of blocks of different heights just to allow them to maintain a flat feet on the bench. If they're unable to do so on the platform, just allows them to get a different form of leg drive. Ryan McDonald, 207.5.
Very well done there. And yeah, you know what? I retract my previous statement. We are definitely seeing some big jumps on bench for this session, and this flight in particular. Have a 210 kilo bench for Curtis, and then a 215 bench for William coming up ahead. As Mason gets ready for 120 keys on platform 1. Again, just a T2 lifter. Curtis, very easy second attempt there. Very well done. And I believe this is a rather recent rule change, but as Mason had demonstrated, lifters are allowed to bring their head off the bench during the press.
Yeah, a few years ago, USAPL has changed the rule, allowing lifters' head to come off the bench. So now there's only 2 points of contact required in the bench press: the upper back and shoulders, which realistically, I don't really know how that could ever come off the bench, and your butt. Your butt has to remain in contact with the bench, right? You don't have to necessarily keep the entirety of your butt, but at the very least, one cheek needs to be on the bench at all times.
$140 there, moves for Connor. So does 215 for William. Man, I wonder how much more he has in the tank there for a third attempt, but 215 is a huge, huge bench press. Looking to possibly see some of the heaviest benches in this session coming up for these third attempts. And now another choice that lifters have is the use of wrist wraps. What are the rules surrounding wrist wraps in the bench press?
Yeah, so wrist wraps can only come down about like 10 centimeters into your forearm, and they essentially cannot come up past a certain length in the hand, and they cannot actually come into contact with the barbell. So that is one thing that the technical controller, which is an additional referee that is checking the lifter's equipment, they're just making sure that the lifter is coming out with the appropriate attire, following all the rules.
Eli here walking out to 147.5 kilos as Kalani retakes 180 for his second attempt. Still really close here on subtotals for this flight in general, actually. Everyone really close to the high 400 kilo mark. Easy press for Eli. Alex gets ready for 180 kilos as well on platform 2. Alex currently forecasted 4th here. But again, those placings definitely are going to shake up as we head into deadlifts, as Jacob also takes 162.5 on platform 1. A little bit of a slow opener there for Jacob.
And a grind on platform 2. Can he
get the
Alex
elbows?
lock out those triceps? Just a little bit too heavy on the day. Just loses out on 5 kilos, but I mean, Alexander is one of those top contenders for that top spot. So we'll see how he fends off after having missed both his third attempts.
Austin here, Teen 1 Phenom with 167.5 kilos here for his opener. A little sticky at the bottom, but easy to lock out. And Devin getting ready to take 190 of his own for his third. Very well selected. A little difficult, but not impossible there. And Felicio here, 190 keys as well. A lot of the same weights being seen here. Honestly, bench weight selection has been very tight, I would say, for this flight.
Yeah, I mean, they've been really taking some pretty big jumps from first to second, but then we see here a 7 and 2 just trying to pick up and squeeze out that very last bit of a bench press in them. So let's see Felicio with 419 pounds.
Dustin there hits 370.
Yeah, and that looked about just about what he had left in the bench press. 3 whites.
Joshua getting ready for 187.5 kilos. Big, big bench here. About 413 pounds. Joshua also in another A7 singlet. Nice press there. Very strong, very convincing. Danner with 205. Gets a fast press there.
There it is. Had a bit of an up and down movement, but then just loses it at that midway point.
Braden here capping out our openers for this flight on platform 1 with 200. Now, based on his training, if there's any lift that's made the most progress, it is Braden's bench press. Let's see how this 441 moves for his opener. Looking to regain some momentum there after missing his last 2 squat attempts.
Yeah, I mean, based off of what he's put up on in competition, he's opening well above his best competition best of 192.5, and he's opening up with 200 kilos.
Ridiculous, as Walter takes 207.
Yeah, Walter just kind of tried to jump that press command, but unfortunately just loses it. Braden puts up a good fight, looking for some redemption after having a unfortunate squat attempt, and we see he goes
2 reds.
Gets 2 red lights,
2
one
yellows,
red card, one
red, 1 yellow.
Yellow card on yellow card could be a variety of things, could be some commands, and the red card, a card you really don't commonly see in the bench press, could be one of 2 things. Either the bar touches the belt of the lifter, or the bar never makes contact with the chest, which I'm not sure if I saw that there, but unfortunately Braden will not be credited with that lift, and will have to retake his opener.
Ryan fighting 210 here. Oh my goodness. And with the strength of Canada, he hits his third there. Let's go. Very solid press there for Ryan. And overall, Ryan kind of on a tear here. 6 for 6 days so far.
Yeah,
Very well done.
That's kind of what's gonna make your day much more successful, especially when it comes down to placements and trying to score as high as you can. Making your lifts is going to be the game changer.
Aiden here taking 117.5 for his second attempt.
We got some Curtis Farmer fans here in the chat as I'm looking.
Curtis
Big 210 for him.
Ooh, 217.5 kilos is ridiculous.
Just a little bit too much for him on the day. However, he is still your leader. He's currently forecasted with an 802.5 kilogram total, but I mean, just 5 kilos below that, we have Jeffrey Perez, who still has one more bench press left to go.
Oh yeah, and I think Josiah here retaking 117.5 kilos. And William on platform 2, get this, about to bench 501 pounds. Holding that weight in your arms.
Crazy to see 5 spotters lining up
to
spot a weight. I mean, how often do you get 5 spotters for a bench press?
This is ridiculous. This is essentially the equivalent of him benching a grand piano.
I think this might be one of our first 500-pound bench presses in for the meet. Yeah, 500 pounds.
I believe it is for the meet, yeah. Very controlled.
Look at the explosivity off the chest. William Myers, unfortunately, just kind of gets stuck a little bit at the mid-range, can't lock out those triceps, and that's some of the tendencies you'll see with those closer grip bench presses. You're always able to get off that chest, but once those triceps are coming to lockout, I mean, it really is all tricep at that point.
Very tough to get past that sticking point as Mason hits his second there. Still, 500-pound bench attempt is
just insane. To even hold that weight in your hands, come down with it, and get it off the chest. I mean, anyone arguably can unrack 500 pounds, right? But and it'll come down, right? But will it come up? No, no, it will not.
Yeah.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our platform 2 bench press session has concluded. Our splitters and loaders, as we see here, are setting up that platform for the deadlift session. We will be taking an additional 10-minute break as we will kickstart the deadlifts, and we'll see you all back in 10 minutes.
Jackson here getting ready with 147.5 kilos for his second attempt. Fights. And maybe a little big of a jump. And Connor ready to take 152.5 kilos here for his second attempt. Another big jump here. And, you know, once again, shout out to our team lifters here on Platform 1. Very few missed attempts overall. Very green in terms of the overall layout of how the attempts have gone. Love to see them building momentum. That is a good lift for Connor. He continues his streak of good lifts. Will Eli do the same here? 160 on the bar. Eli unracking 160 here. Huge press. Very easy. Honestly, it looked like it was opener difficulty there. Very well done for him, picking up an extra 12.5 kilos. Jacob ready with 167.5 kilos here. Only a 5 kilo jump.
Jacob up next, 167.5, 5 kilo jump. Again, a very tightly packed Team 3 division. We got a battle right here with Dustin, Jackson, and Jacob. So it's really shaping out to be a really, really nice Team 3 battle.
Definitely.
I mean, it's so awesome to see these lifters at such a young age getting not only that nationals platform experience, but being able to go head-to-head with other lifters in their own weight class and age division. I mean, how often do you see at the local level, right? You are kind of one of one sometimes, right? You are the only lifter in your division, in your weight class, competing and just winning a participation medal, if you will, right? For just registering in that division. But here at Nationals, no participation medals will be given. These lifts will need to be earned.
And I think, honestly, you might be able to speak to this more as Austin gets ready for, I believe,
this is a world record attempt. Yeah, for Mr. Austin Oakley.
Come on. Oh, wow.
And what a lockout that is for Mr. Austin Oakley. Should be a good lift. Come on, judges, give it to him. Unfortunately, 2-1, a no lift. And if you guys saw the lockout, that lockout is completely legit, right? It is a valid lockout. The bar is not allowed to come down, but your arms can absolutely lock out at different points in time, right? If you notice, if you replay it back, Austin never actually lowered that bar. The bar never came down. That lockout, that left arm is locked out before the right arm did, but I'm not entirely sure what the other referees
may have been the butt coming off the bench.
Butt coming off the bench.
It's hard to see from the center.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see from this angle what the side referees might be looking at, but he will have one more go at it for his third.
And yeah, I think these Team 3 lifters, as Dustin smokes 177.5 kilos, it speaks to, over the past couple of years, this sport has grown in terms of the exposure to the younger ages. I feel like every year there are more and more stronger and stronger and younger people coming in.
Yeah, I mean, we have an additional division beyond the teen, right? We have our youth division, which is lifters from 8 to 13, right? Just lifters 8 years old.
Oh yeah,
right? Competing in powerlifting.
At 8 years old,
it's just amazing to see. And actually, we have our youth national championship coming up next month, which will be youth bench and equipped nationals. It's always one of the very fun national championships of the year.
Joshua here, 197.5 keys. This is a big jump from his opener, actually. Huge bench here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 197.5, 435 pounds for the Team 3 lifter.
He is excited there.
Up next now, we got Braden Nouse, who missed 200 kilos for his opening bench press attempt, will be having to retake that end after, he's really only got one good lift on the board, and it's already second attempt bench press. He's still one of the top contenders for that open class, but he's starting to fall behind.
For sure.
He is, this just kind of goes to show how much a missed lift can really impede your performance. We see other lifters like Curtis and Jeffrey hitting and now surpassing him. And let's see if Braden Nouse can now secure a valid bench press with 200 kilos, 441 pounds loaded on the bar.
Let's see it, Braden. Wow, that looks more in line with the Braden that we know.
That looks like the Braden, yeah. We see.
So definitely the first attempt was more of a technical misgroove there. As he blew up pretty much 200 there. Good for Braden, and he is now pretty much back in the game, looking to hopefully secure a strong third as well. As we head into thirds here on platform 1 with 100 kilos by Hunter, and we are less than 5 minutes away from deadlifts on platform 2, for those who are wondering. Hunter here. Strong press. Very well done. Again, shout out to our spotters and loaders here. Aiden here with 125 for his third attempt. 125 here. Loads it up. Let's see. Can he push this? Come on.
3 white lights.
And thank you to our very own Gino for keeping the energy up in the building for those who are watching live at the venue.
All right, Josiah, after having to retake that opener, he went up 12.5 kilos. Let's see it.
Come on, Josiah.
Yeah, perfect attempt there for Josiah.
Looks like that might have been his planned second there, but still very good.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes when you're having to retake that opener after having missed it and you retake it for the second, you kind of have to find that sweet spot. Maybe not your planned second attempt, but just somewhere in the middle from that second and third. So it seemed like Josiah had just a little bit more left in the tank. Maybe he was planning for 132 or 135, but just settled on 130, and it worked out well for him.
Mason taking 132.5 kilos here. Let's see what he has in store. Pushes, unable to fight through that wall there. Mason missing both of his thirds on squat, or rather, yeah, missing both of his thirds on squat and bench there. Still has deadlift to go as Jackson gets ready to retake 147.5 keys. And, you know, again, the bench press, I feel like in my personal experience, it's one of the hardest ones to get right in a meet setting because, again, I think it all comes down to how you train, and no doubt the people who are competing here today have been training. I mean, they have to have been training at the best standards because they are at the national level. But again, so many things can happen on meet day, and I think part of being a very good athlete is accounting for and adjusting for that, and that's okay. You can't necessarily be your strongest all the time. As Jackson kind of blows up 147.
Yeah, Jackson, really good attempt there. I mean, it was his second attempt having to retake it, right? So he might have a little bit more left in the tank, but walks away with 147.5, just 7.5 kilos added to the total. And you bring up a good point, right? So a lot of the times these lifters have to travel across the country. We are in Atlanta, Georgia. However, we have lifters from all 50 states. We have lifters who are coming to us. They have to drive extensive hours, take flights. We've had several lifters miss flights due to the storms going on here in Georgia. And there's just so many variables, so many externals that can go wrong. These lifters are weight cutting. There's all sorts of things that can be going wrong. So maybe these lifters are having to make adjustments that they might have not accounted for. And we see it all in display here. I mean, it all comes to show and reveals itself on the platform. Connor with an amazing grind of 160. Let's see what the referees say on that one.
That was quite amazing. And it's tough. I feel like people, strength sports in general, powerlifting included, you know, everything has to be right. Sleep, nutrition, stress, you know, something that could seem as mundane as driving a couple of hours. It can, if you don't think about how it can affect your body, your lower back, all these things add up.
Absolutely. I mean, powerlifting is a max output sport, so anything that can hinder that can really have some detriments of what you're capable of displaying here on the platform.
Very well done there.
And then even the most simple things, right? Like maybe forgetting to hydrate, forgetting to eat, right? Skipping one meal, things like that can really start to add on and pay dividends in a good or bad way if you just don't track like you're used to at home. I mean, you're traveling, your schedules might be thrown off, right? There's a bit of a time zone difference if you're coming to us from the West Coast. So, I mean, all those things are taken into account. I mean, the training time, there's just the times you're used to training in the day. Those are all things that these lifters are having to adjust to because, I mean, in the platform, it's really on everyone else's time and not yours.
Exactly, yeah. Very well put. It is a max output sport indeed. And then here, Jacob, is he able to fight through?
Just kind of loses it at that bottom portion.
Very, very tough one there. As next up is Austin here, retaking that world record attempt there on platform 1.
And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are tuned in for the deadlift session, platform 2 has just commenced their deadlifts. These are our open men. This first flight is all 100 kilogram men, and then followed up, we will have the 110s. So these lifters on platform 2 are looking to finalize their day, ending on the best note possible. But tune in on platform 1. We have Austin Oakley, our teenager, 15 years of age, looking to bench press a world record, 176 kilograms, 388 pounds.
Brian here getting ready for the 280. Oh my goodness, Austin.
Give it to him, referees. Let's see it.
Let's see what the side refs say this time.
2-1.
Let's go.
Good lift. Austin Oakley, new world record holder in the bench press. Walked away with the world record in the squat and walks away with the world record in the bench press.
Brian smokes 280 there for his opener. Brian opting to use a double overhand hook grip. Now, deadlift, you're going to see 2 different types of grip and 2 different types of stances. Brian choosing the hook sumo combination there. Now, hook grip, I personally have not used it, but I know it is quite the popular choice amongst deadlifters.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally use a double overhand hook grip sumo pull, so I wedge my thumb in between the barbell and my hands. Just adds in kind of an additional layer of support, right? I'm kind of using a sort of technique, not really using grip strength, just more so of a technique that allows my hands to essentially what feels like my hands gluing itself to the bar.
Yeah.
And then we see conventional stances and sumo stances, which are going to be very different from in the way the legs are positioned and the hands. But over on platform 1, we see a very good attempt there for Mr. Dustin.
TJ here, I do not know if...
Yeah, he's coming out. He's coming out. There we go.
Wow. We're running out there literally. Still makes his opener fly. May have had to put on his socks last minute. That is a rule. You must have your deadlift socks on before performing the deadlift. Joshua here taking 202.5 kilos for our second heaviest bench for this flight. It's a huge bench. Oh my goodness. Joshua in disbelief.
And I'm kind of speechless there because that's just an incredible attempt.
Honestly moved almost as fast, if not faster in a second. So
now, what do you read on the screen for Mr. Braden Naus on the screen up top? What does that say? That says it is a world record attempt for Mr. Braden, 207.5.
207.5, 458 pounds, I believe, about. Braden should have this.
Yeah, I mean, given how easy 200 moved, this should be in the bag for him.
Still, securing a record here is insane.
Crazy to think that this will be a 15-kilo bench press PR. I mean, how often do you think? I mean, that's something people PR on the total, but to PR that on one lift is just incredible.
Devin there with a mixed grip conventional opener, moving very smooth. Yeah, you don't really see huge bench meet PRs, especially in the span of time that he's competed last. Oh,
yeah, that
wow.
was money.
Okay, yep. You like to think if Braden can hear the crowd behind
I couldn't think what that red light was for, but he got 2-1. That was a good lift.
Great lift there for Braden.
And that'll conclude our bench press session for platform 1. We will take a 10-minute intermission while the spotters and loaders set up the platform for the deadlifts. Meanwhile, we'll transition over to platform 2 as we are getting wrapped up on our opening deadlifts.
Moving very fast here on platform 2, actually. And, you know, like you had mentioned earlier, these openers, there's really no telling where the totals could end up just based off these. Some huge, huge jumps are inbound. Cameron here setting up. Cameron choosing to use a prong belt here. Speaking of belts and equipment, one of the leading manufacturers of lifting gear. Pioneer is a sponsor, a proud sponsor of Raw Nationals here. Pioneer, I know, one of the first companies to make an adjustable lever belt. And I can tell you that has been very, very convenient for myself using that adjustable lever belt. And overall creating very high quality equipment here to help our lifters out.
I mean, pioneers in the sport, if you will, right? Pun intended.
Oh yeah, definitely. David Sampson here. Wow, very easy opener there.
Yeah, if you recall, David Sampson is one of the lifters who is well in the lead in the 100 kilo division. He is lifting in the regular session and will do his best to try to fend off those competing in the primetime session that will go on later today.
Man, David Sampson looking to have an insane day, honestly, as Revner walks out for 300 kilos for his opener. And get this, looking at David Sampson's meet history, his meet PR in deadlift is 305 kilos. And I think he has well beyond that today. Looking to put up a huge, huge total. And in fact, I believe he already has surpassed his meet PR total, past best total of 845. He's sitting, I think he's going to try to make a push for something pretty huge here. High in the 800s.
Yeah, I mean, the highest nominated total in the 100 kilo division is 867.5 by Darius Bunch, and he is currently sitting at an 872.5.
Wow.
So he's already exceeded the nominated total from those competing in primetime. So he will really be a contender for the gold medal if these primetime lifters can't surpass his total.
And Gasal making light work of 700 pounds there for an opener. I mean, these next two flights, 600-pound deadlift, 600, 700-pound deadlift range it's going to be typical, very much. Shane here walking out to 285 for his opener. Sets his hook grip there.
Taking his time there in the hook grip.
Nice.
And that is an additional 20 kilos added to the total.
Very well done. And the deadlift only does have one command. The down command there is what the lifters do need to receive from that center ref. So making sure they can hold it there is very important.
Yeah, and some of the things that the referees are looking for in the deadlift is ensuring that once that lifter locks out the bar, those shoulders are back and the knees locked. Once the lifter receives the down command, the lifter has to return the bar to the ground without dropping the bar. So we've had it happen before where the lifters get excited, drop the bar before the plates actually touch the platform, and end up missing the lift for not demonstrating control of the bar. You don't have to tempo it, you just cannot drop it.
Can't drop it.
Some other things might be hitching or using any sort of momentum to get that bar to the lockout position.
Nice second
and
there.
No infraction seen here for Gregory. That looks to be a good lift. 3 white lights.
One that's more common that you might see, especially for conventional lifters, is ramping, which, again, a little bit less common of an infraction, but that occurs when you use your thighs to sort of get under the bar and pull it up at an incline. That is also not allowed. It will result in a red light there.
Yeah, Mr. TJ, who unfortunately timed out on his first attempt, still opted to jump 17.5 kilos to 300, which is probably his planned second attempt anyways. I mean, he moved that opener with ease.
Nice.
Yeah, that's no issue for him.
Very controlled. 2 reds there.
Unfortunately, gets 2 reds for the lockout portion of the lift. He will have to go to the jury to see if he gets that lift
maybe a
overturned
soft
by that
lock,
jury. But yeah, the referees called him for a soft lockout. They didn't think that his shoulders were back or knees were locked.
Brandon taking a 25 kilo jump here from his first to his second. That is ridiculous. Hook grip sumo puller, and well, it looks like 25 kilos is there. And potentially maybe at least another 10 to 15 more based on that.
Yeah, Brandon, who didn't have the best of days, starting off his deadlift session 2 for 2 and hoping to end his day with a PR. I mean, that's all you can really ask for at this point.
Sure.
You aren't able to qualify or post a total, but can you at least end the day on a good note? We'll look out for Brandon later on.
And
Brian Clemson up next, 305, a 25 kilo jump. Brian is currently forecasted in that second place position. Looking to do some damage right now, adding an additional 25 to that total.
Huge jump as well. Very nice, very
That's
patient.
an easy pull.
Wow. Very strong pull there for Brian. Devin here walking out to 305 kilos on the bar. We are entering some very, very big deadlift territory.
Yeah, it's some insane weight. We're just pushing just close to 700 pounds
Oh,
here
yeah.
in seconds.
Little sticky at the knees, but Devin pulls it through. And you might see here a lot of our lifters opting to use baby powder all over their legs here. What is the purpose of baby powder?
A common phrase in powerlifting is baby powder makes it slick, chalk makes it stick. And what that means is baby powder is essentially just supposed to smoothen out the surface on the legs so that when that bar rides up the thighs and quads, that bar doesn't get caught in any of the lifter's hair, skin, or creates any sort of friction or resistance. Whereas chalk in this hand absorbs moisture, allowing you to grip that bar and essentially glue yourself to that bar. Zachary Zills on platform 2 unfortunately got a no lift. He had a bit of a bobble at the top, so he got called for up and down movement.
Right.
Failure to lock out the bar at the top, so he'll be retaking that hopefully on the third.
Cameron here. 315 as well, 20 kilo jump. Pushing near that 700-pound range. Very, very smooth conventional deadlift there. And with David walking out here, 320 on the bar, 705 pounds. Based on his opener, I think he definitely has 705 in him. And he approaches it with confidence as well.
David Sampson looking to really do some insane damage here. 320 kilos. This will push his total to 872.5.
Oh, wow.
That's an easy total for him.
Wow. He might have another 20 kilos there and walks it off like it's nothing. As Revner looking to retake, take the same weight rather, misses opener, but confident, I'm sure that he can hit 320. Come on, Revner. Looks locked.
Able to lock it out that time. Let's see if the referees like that.
Very nice.
I believe our chief referee believed that he did not lock out his knees. We saw that he kind of overextended himself, kind of leaned back, and oftentimes when you lean back in the deadlift, those knees can tend to come soft, so maybe our chief referee noticed that from Mr. Revner, but nonetheless, he got a good lift.
This is an insane deadlift. I believe this is on par with some of the heaviest deadlifts, maybe the heaviest. I don't remember the primetime weights from last night off the top of my head, but for a second attempt.
Yeah, we saw a lifter in last session deadlift in the 850s, the 350s, excuse me. But Mr. Gassau, for a second attempt, will be attempting 342.5.
Holy, this is, and he still has another attempt to go. This is, I mean, you're talking about a 25 kilo jump here.
Yeah, 755 pounds over on platform 2.
Oh my goodness.
See if the referees like that. He kind of got stuck at the quads. Referees say 3 white lights.
And the way he's walking, I think he's confident.
Yeah, there's a lot more left in the tank for him.
Feeling extremely strong.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and live on platform 1. We are getting started with our teen lifters. Mr. Quinton Nelson will be taking 75 kilos. I believe this might be a token lift, just trying to solidify that total.
Might be injured here, maybe not looking to get more injured. As Shane kicks off our third pulls here on platform 2. 300 on the bar.
Yeah, we're going to get very psyched up and very in tune for these platform 2 third round deadlifts. They're almost done with their session for the day.
Come on, Shane. Shane locking in here his hook. And this would be a meet PR. And he locks it out. He holds onto the hook there. Does he get the green lights? The white lights, yes, he does. And that lift is a good lift. Very well done for Shane here. Just a little bit short of his PR total, but a deadlift PR cannot be mad. Lane here getting ready for 200 for his opener. Easy 200 there.
Gregory over here trying to deadlift and solidify his day with a 300 kilogram pull.
For a 765 total here. Locks it out.
There you go. Let's see if the judges like that knee. Gets the down command and able to maintain control. 2-1, a no lift. Unfortunately, referees did not believe that those knees were locked out.
And it's tough, I believe, with the wider your toe angle is on the sumo deadlift.
Now, here, over on platform 2, TJ Davenport going all or nothing on this one. Failed 282.5, failed 300 kilos, and despite that, still opted to go 307.5. I mean, that's just, yeah, I mean, going up 25 kilos from opener to third and covering that gap, going all or nothing here.
Alvin taking 210 on platform 1. TJ, you need to hit this. Come on. Can you lock it out convincingly?
And I think he does. I think that's locked out. That's got to be.
Oh,
2-1,
yeah.
a good lift, and saved by one light. I mean, one more red light on that lift, and he would have walked home with nothing. I mean, that just really goes to show how much is at stake here at Nationals. He's placing himself in the top 10 provisionally and walks away with a 780 total. Devin Tran, 310, 5 kilo jump, put himself at a 790 kilogram total. Sitting just outside of 6th place.
Devin.
There we go, Devin.
Goodness.
What a grind. Oh, and unfortunately that right hand slips out of his. Not able to get that, but still, what a fight and what a battle.
Very light work for Tommy. 225 there for his opener. And yeah, we're starting to push well into the 500s here on platform 1 for openers. Tommy having a great day so far. A lot of our lifters still continuing their streak of good lifts.
Same story here for Zachary. Missed his second attempt, and goes up to 700 pounds for the third attempt. Really kind of a milestone lift here, and able to executed it well on the second attempt. Just needed to get those knees a little bit more locked. Let's see if he can make that adjustment on the third.
Come on, Zachary. Unable to break the floor there, unfortunately, but still had a good day overall. Brian here walking out to 320. 320 is a PR attempt here. for Brian. The big 705 here. Now, hitting this will push him into a 817.5 kilo total for a podium spot. Let's see if he can hit this right now. And Brian, this would cap off a perfect day should he hit this.
Yeah, for the 9 for 9 lift here on platform 2, Brian, unfortunately, that bar just kind of shifts as he gets it off the ground, and I blame the spotters for gluing that bar to the ground.
Alex here walking out to 250 for his opener. Brandon also taking a 20 kilo jump here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Brian going for broke here. I mean, he was unable to post a total, but still taking a 20 kilo jump, trying to PR.
Unable to break the floor there.
Yeah, still walks away with 300 kilos. And what a valiant effort for him to still continue to compete at the meet and finish out his day.
And Ryan, 250 kilos for him and his opener. Ryan weighing in at 95.2 kilos in the 100 kilo class. Definitely has a lot of room to grow into it as well, but already putting up big numbers. Oh yeah.
Very easy opener there. Cam Ferguson, 322.5 kilos.
Huge, huge third attempt here. Very calm hinge down. Wedges in. Can he lock it out?
733 pounds, ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
on platform 2.
It's pulled into 6.
Lift is good. He ends his day 8 for 9. Excuse me. That's a phenomenal day. And taking the same weight, 733 pounds, Mr. David Sampson looking to post up a whopping 885 kilo total.
This is crazy.
That is
That's a
insane.
threat.
That is higher than what is currently registered for all of the primetime lifters lifting in the same weight class.
This would be a 40 kilo near meet PR for him. Oh my goodness, David.
Let's go, David. Lock it out.
Wow.
And with that, Mr. David Sampson, not only does he total 885,
Oh, yeah.
but he posts up a 547 dot performance. That is an incredible performance to be done here at the national stage and in the regular session. I mean, he is going up against those lifters competing in primetime today, and he has a good shot at winning, ladies and gentlemen.
Very well done for him. 9 for 9 day, could not have it better. As Revner walks up for 335 for his third there. And Lachlan opening with 285 for his deadlift.
Yeah, already over the 600-pound openers, well into the 600 pounds for our opening teen lifters. Revner taking a 15-kilo jump after that mishap in the opener. He's currently forecasted to land in third.
Oh, and
That bar just
unfortunate miss.
slips out of his hand. And now another phenomenal performance for the regular session lifters. Mr. Gasau is trying to total 855.
Oh my goodness.
This is 800 pounds,
Oh my goodness.
365. Ladies and gentlemen,
This
is yeah.
This is like one of the biggest deadlifts we've seen for a 100 kilo lifter, and that's including the names coming up later on in prime time. 807 pounds. Wow.
This will put him at an 829 dot performance. And
Ronaldo walks up
again,
to
that is the 5th highest nominated total coming into this competition, Mr. Gasau.
Gasau here. Wedges in. Oh my goodness. Can he lock it out?
Oh, just gets stuck at those knees, but still a remarkable performance. And he is also one of the contenders that is looking to land himself in the top spot after the podium lifters. He ends off his day with 832.5. And with that, that concludes our 100 kilo men. As it currently stands, we have David Sampson leading the pack with 885. Mr. Gasau with a 832.5 performance, and rounding out the podium, we have Brian Crimson with 802.5. We still have primetime lifters left to go this evening but this is our standings as it currently sits for the 100 kilo men.
Quentin with 77.5 kilos on the bar for a second. I believe he's going to time this out. Might have just put the number in.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be timing out, not be coming out for that second deadlift. Mr. Canada over here, Mr. Ryan McDonald, 255, a smooth opener.
Very well done there. Walter up next with 255 of his own. And Quentin is just running down the clock here.
Good attempt there for Walter, 255 kilos, smooth opener. Mr. Kaleni up next, 280 kilos for his opening deadlift, and Leigh Parsons missing 200 kilos, opting to go up 5 kilos to 205, 451 pounds.
Let's see what the judges take this time. And Devin here walking out to 280 kilos on the bar. And yeah, we're already starting to see our second attempts roll in for platform 2 here. And just as we've seen, many big jumps coming up ahead.
Yeah, our lifters are really starting to add on the kilos. I see we got some Ronaldo fans in the live stream chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are watching us live on YouTube, be sure to let us know who you guys are supporting, and we'll be sure to cheer them on in the live stream.
Alvin here walking out to 501 pounds for his second attempt, while Danner is going to open it with 282.5 kilos. Easy opener there.
Good second there from Mr. Alvin, 17.5 kilos added to the total.
Tommy taking a 20 kilo jump here to 245 for his deadlift.
Yeah, perfect day so far for Tommy, looking to cover some ground.
Tommy being handled by Joel Chong, who just competed last night in the primetime session. Great to see a lot of our athletes here also being involved with coaching, handling, helping out in other ways in the community as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just at Nationals, you're going to see a lot of people just wearing many different hats.
Yeah.
We have people who are spotters, but also referees and competitors. We have coaches who are competing themselves and just coaching other lifters, just doing all sorts of things, giving back to the sport in so many ways. And Tommy gets 2-to-1, good lift.
Also a good lift for Patrick, as Alex gets ready for 287.5 kilos here, heading into our final opening deadlifts. Easy opener there. And Sean, pretty huge jump between attempts.
Yeah, 15 kilos.
Doesn't matter at all. Looks like a perfect second attempt. Curtis with the 297.5 kilo opener, which comes off the ground like it's the bar, pretty much.
Yeah,
and
we got some Curtis Farmer fans in the chat.
And Ryan taking 262.5 kilos for his second here on platform 1. Taking his time here. Very strong.
Very good. Undeniable lockout there, just kind of overextending himself a little bit in that locker position. 3 white lights.
And Felicio pulling last here, ending our flight in openers. 310 for an opener is definitely huge and easy, clearly.
Yeah, he's one of those lifters that can really sneak in to those top 5 positions. He's currently forecasted in 7th, but I mean, given how fast that moved, he can make some pretty big jumps with that big deadlift of his and sneak in there for those who are not looking in.
John Paul here with a little bit of a fight on 265, but secures it for his second attempt there. It's a good lift. And again, to hold that much weight, I mean, chalk, grip strength, they do matter, but also having high quality bars like we have here from TSS. Man, the knurling on the TSS bar is some of the best knurling.
Yeah, some of the most aggressive knurling you'll encounter in a barbell.
I mean, if you're touching that bar, you can be confident that you're going to have as much friction and,
absolutely, yeah,
and grip as possible. Very nice. 265 there.
Easy 10 kilo jumps picked up by Mr. Ryan McDonald.
Lachlan missed his opener at 285, I believe on a technicality there, but opting for the 10 kilo jump here, humongous squatter, obviously. Excited to see what he has for his deadlift as well.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have anyone he's really going against. He's forecasted almost 100 kilos past the next competitor, but he's also kind of taking a bit of a risk going up anyways after missing, so let's see how this plays out for him.
Walter taking 280 here, also a 25 kilo jump, which doesn't matter anyways because that looked very easy.
Yeah, and that's no issue for Lachlan. He secures 295.
Nice. And Ricardo pushing near that 300 kilo range with 297.5 kilos for his second attempt. That is a huge second attempt as well. And Ricardo, I believe, looking to crack into the podium as well for the junior 100 kilo lifters. Danner taking 292 for his second on platform 2. See, Danner, another example, did technically bomb out, but still come all this way. Might as well give it your best to secure a deadlift.
Let's see if the referees like that lockout. Yeah, and I kind of saw it there, but as he locked out, his knees kind of came forward, and you have to make sure that in the deadlift portion, you have your shoulders, you keep your shoulders back and the knees locked. So I think the referees, especially the ones on the side, which are the ones that call them, kind of saw that a little bit.
Ronaldo here taking 322.5 kilos. That is a huge second attempt. Already pushing past the 700-pound range here. And if he hits this, breaking the 800 kilo total mark as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo's currently sitting in second place in the juniors as well. So he is a junior lifter. He's aged 20 to 23.
Let's see how this goes for Ronaldo. As Patrick Peter gets ready for his second.
Yeah, that is a good attempt for Mr. Ronaldo. 3 white lights, that is a good lift. Patrick Peter, 300 kilos.
Now, Ronaldo is, I believe, 25 kilos, if my math is correct, behind the first place junior
Given
100
how that
lifter.
move, I mean, you can't, with a deadlift of that size, I mean, you think after having the lead, I mean, let's see, in these placings, he is far ahead in the placements. He solidified himself pretty nicely in second place. There is no threat of that second place medal being taken away. So you might think that he is going for that. We see on the standings he is not going for it. He's not pulling for the win, but he will be attempting to total 820 kilos.
Still huge, very smart there. Very easy 300 kilos. A little shaky at the top. Let's see what the judges say here for Kalini. It's a no lift there. 2 reds, center and right judge. And Lane secures 217.5 kilos for his 3rd deadlift there. As Alvin gets ready to walk out to 240 kilos. Huge deadlift for a Teen 2 lifter. Alex getting ready for 302.5 kilos as well for his 2nd. Alvin taking his time to set up here. Easy 2nd there for Alex. Definitely has at least 10 or so kilos in the tank. Alvin wedges in slow off the floor, and he's unable to bring it past his knees there. Good save by our spotter Chris there. Caleb taking 242.5 kilos. And you know, on the deadlift, you'll see, especially with these max effort attempts, it's not uncommon to see our lifters get a little lightheaded, you know, and that's why it's important to have, and once again, shout out to our spotters there for catching them when that is the case.
Yeah, Caleb here looking to, with this pull, looking to move himself from 5th place and swap medals with Alvin Liu, who's currently sitting in 4th. Yeah, and unfortunately that's not going to go. Yeah, it hits a little bit at the top. He's lost a little bit of balance there, but he will still walk away with a medal, ending himself with a 5th place finish.
And Felicio here walking out to 325. 15 kilo jump for his 2nd attempt. Oh, gets a little thrown out of balance there. As we head on to our 3rds on platform 2. As Tommy gets ready for 250 in the back. Platform 1. Getting his brace right. Breaks the floor. Can he get his hips through? Yep, he gets his hips through, and that is a
Gets
good
it down,
lift.
command. Let's see what the referees say. Yeah, 2-1. I did think the shoulders were a little questionable, but he gets 2-1 nonetheless, a good lift. And Tommy McHenry ends in 3rd place for your Team 2 100 kilo men.
Very well done there.
Ryan McDonald looking to pull himself into the top 10, currently sitting in the 11th, looking to swap places with Mr. Patrick Peter.
Huge jump there. Typically don't see this.
Yeah, taking a 25 kilo jump, just trying to.
Oh. Well, he may have
Gets
had
a down command. Let's see what the
He may have
referees
had more
say. I
there.
think that looked good. At 2-1, no lift.
John Paul sticks with his hook all the way to the top. Does he get a good lift there?
And there we see Mr. Dane Roche on platform 2 going up to the jury and contesting that lift, which I would as well. Good lift on platform 1.
Walter, 295 goes up. It looks like a good lift there as Alex walks out to 272.5 kilos, crossing the big 600 mark for his third attempt. He is forecasted 4th right now. Gets the lockout. Will it be a good lift?
Good lift, 2-1.
And Devin Clark pulls 295 on platform 2.
After having to retake that on the second, he gets 2-1. Also a good lift.
And Ryan Troy here, 272.5 kilos. He's already in first. This is a 601 pull to keep him there. And as a team 2, he is quite ahead of the pack here, but
yeah, kind of doing a bit of a victory lap here. Already solidified himself in first, looking to go 9 for 9.
Yeah, 600 on the platform would be quite memorable. And it is.
And there you have it, folks. Your Team 2 100 kilo national champion, Mr. Ryan Troy. Danner Dunstan looking to have a bit of a fight. Gets the down command from the referees.
Maybe a soft lockout.
Yeah, it did look soft. I mean, couldn't get those shoulders through.
Still, way to still stick in the competition, even after bombing out. Very good attempts there. As Kalani goes for 302.5 keys, missed his second attempt, seeing if he can squeeze out 2.5 kilos more. Six, 6, 6.
The number of the beast, as Gino would call it. Kalani Kintaro looking to go.
Oh, wow.
Gets the down command. Let's see if the referees like that. 2-1, good lift.
Sean gets ready for 277.5 kilos here. Oh, wow. Slow off the floor. Can he lock it out? Very well done there.
And with that pull, Sean is now your second place silver medalist in the Team 2 100 kilo weight class, ending his day with a 660 kilogram total. And all the Team 2 lifters who placed in the top 3 all went 9 for 9, so very remarkable lifting for the 16 and 17-year-olds. Mr. Patrick Peter up next, 307.5.
In the Americana singlet colorway from A7 here, looking to secure a third pull here. Wow.
Oh, and unfortunately, both side referees did not believe he locked out the deadlift. I think it might have been the knees.
Ricardo here. Oh my goodness, is he able to recover and secure that? I don't think
now,
I saw
it's a matter if the referee saw any up and down movement of the bar, which only one of them did, but now the lift is 2-1, a good lift. And Ricardo ends in your podium position for the men's raw junior.
3:15 here for Lachlan coming up. Hitting this would secure a nice round 800 kilo total. Perfect way to end the day. As Alex is up for 315 on platform 2 here of his own. Same weight for both platforms. Alex looking to secure, and the grip slips there.
Yeah, that left hand just couldn't hold on to the bar any longer.
And Lachlan here getting ready. 315, 295 honestly moved really fast. I believe he does have another 20 kilos in him. William looking to end up with 320 here on the day. Wow, Lachlan gets it off the floor, locks it out easily. Points to the crowd, he's happy, and he has secured an 800 kilo total and is your first place, Team 3, in the 100 kilo class.
Now we got Felicio Marta looking to retake 325, end his day with a 795 total.
Huge total here.
Yeah, that's looking to put him just deeper into the top 10.
And Ronaldo here taking 337.5 kilos for his third. That is a huge, huge
Yeah,
pull.
Ronaldo is your junior looking in that second silver medal position, looking to further extend that lead, while Felicio Marta is looking to extend his position in the top 10.
Oh,
Let's go
wow.
Felicio. Oh, and gets a down command, but he had that bit of a bobble at the top, and he will get yet no lift. Meanwhile, Ronaldo Robinson gets the down command, and 337.5 is a good lift.
Amazing work there. Curtis looking to cap out deadlifts on platform 2. 330 kilos overall. The last deadlift on platform 2 for this session. Securing this will keep him in first with an 835 kilo total in the 110 kilo class. Eyes down the bar here. .330 flies off the floor. Can he lock it out? And he does.
And he does. It comes up a little bit unevenly, but Curtis
is good.
ends his day 7 for 9 and posts up an 835 kilo total.
That is it for platform 2, ladies and gentlemen. We are now back to platform 1. We are still underway with Dads just starting for flight D here.
For those of you watching on platform 2, we will finish out platform 1, and once all of lifting is concluded on both platforms, we will then move on to the awards ceremony. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere, as platform 1 is just begun and they will be finishing up shortly. Aiden Kidd up next. 190 kilos for his opening deadlift. Josiah Bohm up next, 212.5. Josiah's coming to us in the 110 Teen 1 weight class. He is 15 years old. Good attempt there for Josiah. And the referees like that, 3 white lights. Eli Whitmer up next. 222.5, just shy of that 500-pound milestone marker. Based on the forecasted placings, Eli is currently sitting in 5th place, but has some strong opposition all the way from Jacob, Jackson, Eli, and applying pressure to Dustin. So this can go any way. And this is a pretty interesting battle for me here in the Team 3 110. That's a good lift for Eli. And for those wondering what happens if 2 lifters end up totaling the same exact amount, well, the decision will then go to who weighed in the lightest. So right now, as it currently stands in the Team 3, we have Connor Kisby and Joshua Yao, who are currently both forecasted at a 720 kilogram total. However, Connor Kisby is the lighter lifter in this scenario, weighing in at 107.45. Meanwhile, Joshua is 109.9. So in the event they both total the exact same, Connor will be your winner. But stay tuned, there's still plenty of lifting left to go. These are just barely the openers. And one of our contenders for that top spot, here we go, Joshua, 255, 562 pounds, opening deadlift attempt. Jacob Borromeo up next, 260, 573 pounds. Jacob applying a significant amount of pressure to the contenders all the way up to 4th place. I mean, this can go any which way, and it all starts here with the opening deadlift. We see Jacob setting up with his stance. I mean, very intricate setup there. And that works well for him with a smile on his face. He gets a down command, and he gets 3 white lights. Mr. Austin Oakley is up next, our 15-year-old who broke a world record in the squat, broke a world record in the bench press event, and will now be opening with a world record deadlift. 262.5, 578 pounds for Mr. Austin Oakley. Gets that down command, and that solidifies his world records. And with that, he has now solidified his total, and he will now walk home and claim all of his world records that he just broke throughout this entire competition. Jackson is up next, and he is opening up with 265, 584 pounds. And for those watching from home, this is the equivalent of 6 commercial gym plates you're seeing here being tossed around for openers.
And Connor here walking up to 275 for his opener. Connor currently forecasted for 3rd in the Teen 3 division here. Let's see if he can hold on to a podium spot. And Connor, easy opener there.
Katie, what time are you going to be? Like 5:40? 5:45?
And Braden walking out here with a 300 kilo opener. Braden currently 2nd in terms of the forecast for our 110 open category.
Yeah, he's well above the lead in the Teen 3, but open is where he is here to fight.
And it looks like the total to beat there is 835.
Yeah, Mr. Curtis Farmer hit that in the flight prior, so now Braden is looking and hawking down that coveted total. Again, we still have a few more lifters to go in the prime time, but after Braden's 300 kilo deadlift, it doesn't seem like 835 will be too much of an issue.
Braden getting 3 reds there. I believe that was for dropping the bar.
Yeah, I believe he did release his hands from the bar until the plates touched the ground. Common rookie mistake, if you will. Just one of those very easy things to fix.
Yeah.
I don't suppose he has any struggle in going up and hitting that weight. That weight looked very easy, just something mental cue he has to go over with his coach.
No doubt he'll probably be looking to go up anyways to his planned second here. 170 here coming up for Hunter for his second attempt.
Yeah, good attempt for Hunter there. 3 white lights.
Mason up next, 195 on the bar for his second attempt. And Mason currently second overall here in the Teen 2 category for the 110 kilo lifters.
Yeah, it's nice to see these teen lifters at a young age, like mentioned before, have a bit of an opposition and have some lifters to be going against. It's not too common you see lifters in these specific age divisions having someone to go head-to-head with. Mason sitting in second.
A little tough. Can he get through? He gets his hips through here. Good lockout there.
Yeah, a bit tougher of a lift than you'd expect to see coming from a second attempt, but nonetheless, he gets 3 whites, and we'll just have one more lift left to go. And this is your actual leader in the Teen 2 division, Aiden Kidd, who so far has had a perfect day. He has not missed a single lift in this competition, looking to end with his second attempt of 212.5.
Aiden here. Easy pull. Honestly, could have been his opener there.
Yeah, I don't expect there being much of a struggle for his third.
Next up is Josiah with 220 kilos on the bar, 485 pounds. He is the second place, currently forecasted for second place in the Teen 1 division. Easy second.
And that was actually a 2.5 kilo PR for Josiah. It just goes to show the improvement he's had. Making a move like that, I mean, expect a big PR for him on the third.
Most definitely. Eli, 245 on the bar, taking a huge jump from his first attempt, actually. More than 20 kilos. 245 here.
Yeah, Eli's one of those in the battle of the Teen 3 110s.
Nice.
Strong attempt there, and surprise, fun fact, this is Eli's second competition, and for it to be Eli's second meet and having a perfect day so far, that just, I mean, that's incredible, right?
Oh,
having such little platform experience, having such a young age, but still having a very phenomenal performance at Raw Nationals is just a true testament of its own from not only his coach, but also the discipline of that young lifter.
Dustin, 265 here. Another 22.5 kilo jump. Wedges in, locks it out. It looks like a good lift from our angle.
Yeah.
Good lift there.
I think he got a no lift from that chief referee for, I think, releasing his hands from that bar.
Right.
Didn't actually drop the bar, just kind of let go of the fingers.
Gotta drop it in contact with your hands there. Joshua here with 265 on the bar for his second attempt.
Yeah, Joshua applying some pressure to Connor right now, just sitting 10 kilos behind him in the forecasted.
Very, very close.
And this just kind of opens the door for Connor to take a more conservative approach for his attempt selection. He no longer has that pressure from Joshua, since he is now forecasted at 740. Meanwhile, Joshua is sitting below in the 720s.
Now, Kevin, what are the things that are unique about attempt selection for deadlift?
Right, so the biggest advantage is going to be being the last deadlifter, right? You have the opportunity to see what your oppositions are pulling, how easy of an attempt it was. So when it comes down to the third round of deadlifts and they're applying pressure to you, you have the opportunity to see what your competitors are lifting, right? So whether or not they miss or hit their attempt, you can then base your judgment and attempts off of that. If you are the first one to go up, you have the disadvantage because you are trying to pull the highest enough number to total the highest possible total without tipping over, because then you open up the opportunity for your competitors to then drop their third deadlift and go less than what they actually need just to win.
Austin here, 277.5 kilos. And this is another record attempt.
I mean, record after record, Austin Oakley's putting on a show.
Breaks the floor, breaks the knees. Can he lock it out?
Oh my goodness, Austin. And it just slips out of his hand. He will have one more go at this weight.
That was a ridiculous fight. Looked like he almost could break that sticking point for a second. As Jackson loads up 280 here for his second attempt. Pulling this will pull Jackson. Still securing a top 10 placement here.
Yeah, Jackson's currently sitting in 6th and is looking to just apply pressure to all the lifters who are in that podium, in that top 5. If those lifters begin missing, Jackson has the deadlift advantage, as he is the lifter that is going after every single one of these lifters other than Mr. Connor Kisby.
Let's go, Connor. 617 on the bar here for him. Getting ready. Connor has been having quite the day so far, too. Honestly, attempt selection has been on the money here. Can he continue the streak? I think so.
Yeah, and that sort of just solidified his second place here. We can still see a attempt change from Joshua, but he's pretty solidly in that position.
Braden here, our Teen 3 Phenom, taking 305. Now his opener looked really good on strength. Just missed the lift on a technicality there, dropping the bar. They've opted for a 5-kilo jump here.
Again, just a reminder from his coach to remind Mr. Braden to hold on to the bar, right? Just hold it down, control it all the way down to the bottom. There's no reason to let go of it any sooner than that. And let's see Braden.
Very explosive.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Let's see what the judges say here.
Yep, that looked like a good attempt. 3 white lights.
And looking forward to see what Braden loads here for his third attempt. He's currently sitting at 812.5 kilos. In order to pull into that first place position for the open category, I believe he's going to have to beat 835. So, does he have an additional 17.5 kilos in him? It'd be interesting to see what his coach and him decide on.
Yeah, again, they have 1 minute to put in an attempt. However, this is third round of deadlifts commencing. Hunter will be your first lifter up, attempting 185. Lifters have the option to change their third deadlift up to 2 times in the round.
Right, and I think that's really important because when the placings are really close, coaches definitely use that to their advantage.
It becomes a chess match back here. You're predicting, you're trying to squeeze out as many kilos as you can out of your lifter without tipping over.
Can you force a lifter to pull something too heavy? Can you force a lifter to pull something that they might not make or make them overexert? As
And
Hunter.
we just see the updated standings. Braden will not be attempting to pull into the lead against Curtis Farmer. He will be pulling. He's already in second. Will look to extend his lead. Has opted to attempt 317.5, which will put him at an 825 total, just 10 kilos behind Curtis Farmer, who is your current leader in the 110s.
Mason here with 200 up for him. A little slow off the floor. Can he lock it out? And he's unable to get that there. The spotter is there to help him. And Josiah here looking to end off his day with a 501-pound deadlift.
Josiah looking to cross into the 500-pound mark, 227 kilos, 501. 15 years old and already hitting 500 pounds. That is a remarkable feat. Gets it down command, and we await the referee lights. They say the lift is good.
Aiden here, 237.5 keys. Looking to secure his position in first. Still a very huge jump here.
Yeah, it might be a milestone lift for him.
Definitely a huge number here. Wedges in, fast off the floor. Fast at lockout too. Let's see if that was up and down or not.
Yeah, and that lift was a PR lift for Aiden.
Let's
he
go.
gets a 5 kilo PR.
Can hear it from back here. Congratulations, Aiden.
Again, I'm just super impressed by the level of talent some of these kids are displaying on the platform to go against national level refereeing. These kids are hitting their lifts and just truly displaying all their hard work and training they put in at the gym.
Most definitely. And team 2, Eli with 257.5 kilos. Very strong off the floor. Wow. No lift there. Looks like might have been soft.
They didn't think he locked out, so either it
Soft
could be the
lockout.
knees or the shoulders. So Eli is in a bit of a vulnerable spot here since he has Jackson right behind him, who will be attempting later on to pull and swap placings with him and snag a medal. Joshua with a very amazing act of sportsmanship here, just coming out, timing out his third deadlift, shaking the hands of the referees, thanking the spotters for their time. And we'll take this minute just to thank all these spotters and loaders and referees, all the staff who have helped put this event together. Thank you to all of our sponsors, A7, Pioneer, Basement Barbell, who has provided us with our name tags, Sour Strips, and Element, who have given us so much of our nutrition and rehydration products for all of our lifters throughout the entire competition. And of course, TSS for providing us with the platform equipment, the plates, the warm-up gear, Team Roar for providing us the training hall available to us at the convention center. Just thankful for all the valuable sponsors who have helped contribute to USA Powerlifting and help make this event a success.
Dustin here, 277.5 kilos. Let's go. This is a pull to keep him here in fourth place. Still, 715 kilo total is big. And let's go, Dustin. In the dark green and black color combo here. Sets his hook up. Huge pull here. Breaks the floor. Can he lock it out? And he's unable. Austin here going again for that record of 277.5 kilos. Make some noise here for Austin. He's preparing again for this world record attempt. Was not able to hit it on his second. Maybe has more in the tank now, approaching it differently. Still amazing for a Teen 1 lifter here. Breaks the floor. It's unable to lock it out there. Still huge day for him. The future is so, so bright for both him and this sport. Amazing day for Austin, as he is your Teen 1 national champion in the 110 kilo class. Jacob here, taking 282.5 kilos. Wow, second attempt was a little bit of a grinder. Let's see what he has here for his third. Breaks the floor. Unable to lock it out.
Yeah, just needed a little bit more baby powder on those legs.
Oh, yeah. Running on a streak of misses here.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happens when all these guys are trying to pull for a placement.
Leave it all on the platform.
Yeah, and then now, like mentioned before, Jackson will be pulling to bump out Eli out off of the podium. He is elected to only go up to 292.5 and will total 700 kilos evenly to bump Eli off of fifth and swap medals with him.
Let's go, Jackson.
This is to put himself into fifth place and go home with a medal.
Oh my goodness, convincingly.
And that couldn't have been an easier attempt.
Oh yeah, him and his handler are excited there. Very well done. 2 deadlifts left. Connor with 315 to keep him here in second place. Still humongous total, 760 should he hit this.
Yeah, just incredible totals. This is insane to think about that. These are teenagers lifting weights over or just shy of 700 pounds.
And Connor looking to end this day with a perfect 9 for 9 should he hit this. Let's go, Connor. Takes his time to wedge in. Breaks the floor, but unable to get it past.
He still walks away with the silver medal. Second place winner there. And for our final lift of the day, last but not least, Braden Naus taking 325, a 20 kilo jump. He is competing in both the teen division and in the open. In the open, he is slotted to be forecasted in second place. And in the teen, he is blowing everybody out of the water. Mr. Braden Naus here.
Come on, Braden. 325, huge pull here. Definitely in
over 700 pounds for your last pull of the session.
Huge meet PR territory here. Let's go, Braden. Breaks the floor. Can he lock it out? Oh my goodness. Gets the down command.
And Braden Naus ends off on the best note possible. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our session 2 lifting. We will be back at 6 p.m. for our primetime session, where we will have our 100 and 110 kilogram male lifters competing for that top spot. We had a few remarkable performances here, and let's see how those hold up as we get into the primetime. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today at the 2025 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championship in Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Kevin Serrano, and I'm here joined by
UV, and thank you so much again for all of you watching, both at your home and here at the venue. Once again, shout out to all of our staff and volunteers here for helping this event run as smoothly as it can. Thank you to our sponsors that have all been able to fund this event and help it run smoothly as well. And last but not least, thank you to Barbell Productions for being able to provide this live stream and all the media content for our lifters this weekend.
We'll see you all at 6 p.m. Peace.
Get access to world-class coaching in real time from anywhere. Whether in a small group setting or one-on-one, our coaches are in your ear during your training sessions, watching every rep and correcting every mistake.